first reintroduction of the Camaro.
So they did go away for a while.
Yeah. There was the 90s model that's called the Catfish body, and then they brought them back with the Transformers movies.
Yeah, I'm going to go Lindsay Lohan over Alvin Kamara. Now, I don't know what Lindsay Lohan has done that's considered great.
Doing a Verizon commercial now.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, she's sort of making a pseudo comeback.
I mean, she's cashing checks a lot later than most female actresses, according to you, which you're not wrong about what you say.
No, I think she would have had a really good career if it wouldn't have gone off the rails with some abuse and different
I'm going to
things
go
like
Lindsay
that.
Lohan.
I'll go Lohan on this one, but that's a tough one. Boy, these on the fly have been tough.
Fourth down.
Walter Payton would have been, let me tell you, 71 years old.
Man,
wow.
Can you believe that?
I was going to say 61.
Walter Payton or Walter Cronkite? Better career.
Oh, I'm going to go Walter Payton. The Walter Cronkite is considered a news icon.
You know what?
They actually give the Walter Cronkite Award.
Did lose sweetness a little too early.
We did. Yeah. Show you how much the game has changed.
By the way, he was 45 when he passed away.
Yeah. Show you how much the game has changed. Walter Cronkite was once, I think, called the most trusted man in America.
He was.
And now the vast majority of Americans don't even trust the media.
Yeah. Walter Payton, Man of the Year.
In the media. Yeah.
Walter Payton, Man of the Year award. I'll go Walter Payton. Stick with it.
I think I'll go
Final
Walter
answer.
Payton as well.
I'll go Walter Payton.
Yeah. That's our four downs today, brought to you in part by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision. The best decision LT made, other than hooking up with Brown and me 1,000 shows ago, was getting that eye surgery from Michelson Laser Vision.
And look, if you've been thinking about it, you got nothing to lose to make that phone call. 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy. They're going to schedule a hassle-free consultation. Zero to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jim Michelson, best in the business. 205-969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
One of the best moments in show history goes back to it's Halloween 2022. It's Brian Harsin losing his job at Auburn mid-season. This is how it sounded, and more importantly, how it looked.
It has happened, guys. Yeah, we've got the breaking news here.
Oh, wow.
Auburn University has decided, this is from Auburn, decided to make a change in the leadership of the Auburn University football program. President Roberts made the decision after a thorough review and evaluation of all aspects of the football program. Auburn will begin an immediate search for a coach that will return the Auburn program to a place where it is consistently competing at the highest levels and representing the winning tradition that is Auburn football. Official, that's not reports, that is official from Auburn University.
So we knew what would happen today.
With us in costume?
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. So historically, this will be the way we break the news of an Auburn coaching change. Evel Knievel, Ken Inbox, and Top Gun was popular then as well. Maverick.
Movie had just come back out.
Top
Gun Maverick. It never gets less absurd. I mean, every time I watch it.
Yep.
The best part is how much space there is in the box because Jim's got to sit, and so it just pushes its way up, and he's trying to readforce the whole video, trying to get his arms through.
He was uncomfortable the whole show.
Oh, it was miserable. I had skates on, too.
Don't forget that part.
Size 2 small skates.
Rollerblades, right?
Yeah, rollerblades, yeah.
And I'll tell you what made it, it comes back almost every Halloween. This comes back up, but then Brian Harsin had never seen it until a recent Halloween, which might have been the last Halloween. Do you guys remember when he texted me? Like, that was the first time he had actually ever seen it, and he texted me. He was like, that was absolutely incredible. And
him getting fired.
Yeah, I know.
So when I hit the lottery, the day I hit the lottery, you guys were in costume.
I know, and I'm like, well, Coach, I hope you know we don't take any pleasure in the fact that we had to report that. He's like, no, you should. That was incredible that you had to report my firing dressed like that.
Like we do, you belong in the Roback family. Get the best golf wear, hoodies, and activewear for men and women at Roback.com. Use promo code TNR20 to get 20% off your order. That's Roback.com, promo code TNR20.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
A new week of live shows as we get rolling today. Much deserved time off. Much deserved for Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. They're off this week. They've been
busting it lately, covering for me, so they get a little vacation time. Taylor Korn will be in with me all week long. Very basketball show-esque. A couple of years of basketball coverage. We've done some post-game shows. We'll get to sit here. Tyler and Forrester behind the big glass. Taylor will also be handling social media from right here. EG's on campus all week long because it's SEC camp time. We got people out on the football field.
Finally. I feel like the time between SEC media days and the start of football season is when, things get a little tough, especially for people like you who, are coming up with show topics every day. There's a lot of talking season. So I'm excited to actually hear about what's happening on the field at camp during practice and stuff, because it's less, let's come up with this list, that list, and we get some real information.
You're like Bobby from Homewood. You hate the list season.
No, I love lists. I love lists. Look at our social media. But I think it's more interesting once you actually start hearing real information.
That's right. So we'll check in with different people from different SEC camps as we move throughout the week. On the show today, we'll just start off with Alabama and Auburn, but it'll be a big focus on Alabama and Auburn all week long. So if you sit back and you don't think you get enough Auburn, Alabama on the show or other SEC teams, we'll get a lot of that this week as some of our friends in the business will help us replace the two stalwarts of Brown and LT throughout the week. Our buddy Rosie Langello, sports director WSFA, covers Auburn and Alabama in Troy and others down in Montgomery. She'll be with us at 9:30 Central. Segment number 2 coming up. Justin Hokanson on 3 Sports Auburn Live will talk Auburn football with us to start hour 2 at 10. And Clint Lamb from our Cover Crimson site, you see Clint every day on that platform over there, will be with us at 11 to talk Alabama football. Forrester on the back row. Tyler is there as well. Tyler will handle trash for us a little bit later on, and a ton of stuff to get to, including what Riley's already talking about in the chat room over there. Says, saw your post last night, betting different sites, different odds, but betting switch right now on Auburn Baylor opener in college football.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, but my thought when something like this happens, obviously no games have been played that would cause you to see a change, but this makes me think that there was some money being thrown on Baylor. Was it because of Big 12 Media Days hype? I don't know, but I was a little bit surprised when Auburn was favored initially, to be completely honest, because look at the past couple of seasons. I feel like it's been a lot of, okay, we need y'all to prove it.
Yeah, see, I think that's where I was on this whole thing. It was like Baylor's at home.
Right.
Baylor's ended the season really good. A lot of changes at Auburn. I think Auburn's roster is better. I was surprised. Riley makes a point in the chat room. It's basically a pick'em
right
on the money line. A little slight favored for Baylor by the time we get to kickoff, probably because they're at home, right? You get a little point bump when you're at home. I think LT usually coaches me up that it's about 1.5 points. Isn't that what the betting line is? About 1.5 points?
I would think so, for home field advantage.
So we're looking at a game like a pick'em. It's a coin toss game, 50-50. As Zach says, Jackson Arnold beat Bama. He can beat Baylor. That's what Zach says.
I mean, yeah. I don't know how much that would correlate, but he does. He has a lot of weapons around him after he had a injury depleted offense, basically the entire offense last season. But it will be his first game playing for Auburn. There is a lot of newness. I think that one thing that will help is a lot of the youth that you saw, with meaningful snaps last season for Auburn. They all have a year under their belt now. So it'll be interesting. I think, and this might be a little bit dramatic, but I think the first 2-3 offensive drives for Auburn in that game are going to tell a lot, because what's one thing that we've heard Hugh Freeze say? Jackson Arnold needs confidence. So if those first few drives don't go well, I feel like that could have a negative impact on his mental state in terms of confidence.
Okay, chat room, let's do a quick unscientific poll. We're going to make the line 1.5 Baylor. Baylor -1.5. in the chat room, I'm giving you Monopoly money, $1,000 Monopoly money. Baylor minus 1.5. Tell me who you're taking, Auburn or Baylor in the chat room. You start us off, Taylor Korn. You've got $1,000 Monopoly money. Where are you going?
I mean,
you taking Auburn plus 1.5?
I think so. I feel good, but I do this every season. I'm prepared to be hurt. But I do think, all signs point to Auburn having a better season. We thought that last year as well, but they have a talented roster. I think that if you line them up and look on paper, Auburn has a better roster than Baylor does. But, can they get the job done? Time will tell.
Let's see. Walker says he'll take Baylor minus 1.5 to the bank. John's taking Baylor. AU Barn says he'll take Auburn. Daniel Auburn. Hunter goes Auburn. Love the blue Auburn. Elric, I like that name. War Eagle, he says. I'll put that in the Auburn category. Chris goes Auburn. Auburn Barner again says Auburn everyone's sleeping on the O-line and running back room.
I saw in Phil Steele's, I don't know what the magazine's called, but I think it's just called College Football 2025 Preview or something.
The Phil Steele magazine.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he had Auburn's offensive line very highly ranked within the conference, and offensive line recruiting is something that we haven't seen Auburn participate in throughout the Brian Harsin era and some of the Gus Malzahn era as well. And there has been a major uptick in talent that's brought in. I think that some of the transfers this season will be very impactful. I think the offensive line should be improved as well, because the transfer that was brought in last year just did not pan out, and that ended up being a little bit of a disaster, as well as a number of other things last season.
Yeah. You saw some video that Forrester had up. Can you put Taylor's tweet up again, or the graphic about the point spread? Because I do want to send this as you guys continue to be fantastic in the chat room here. And we do. The people behind the scenes here do just such a wonderful job. RTD4, Forrester and Taylor and Tyler, all this. We do a TV show here, basically. If you're in local TV, a lot of the 1 hour, 2 hour pregame and postgame show did not have all the bells and whistles that our little digital former radio show has now. And I appreciate all the people that make this look like it's basically get up every morning. And graphics like this is this. This is from FanDuel, I believe, is where you got this, right?
Yes.
Taylor, FanDuel. Baylor minus 1.5, but way out there to the far right. If you're not a gambler, that O is over 56.5. That U is under 56.5. And RTD4 wants to play that. He says, forget playing the game. The play is on the over-under over there. RTD4, do you think he says, you didn't see it?
I didn't see it.
Do you think he says over, a lot of points, 56.5, or you think it's less points, under 56.5?
I'm thinking under.
He says hammer the under. Why do you think under?
I think that Auburn's defense is going to be good this season. I'm going to contradict myself here, because I think Auburn's offense has the potential to put a lot of points up on the board. But, it's game one. Yeah. It's a road environment.
Well, that's where I am when in game one, when it gets, 56.5, this is how I always do over-under. And I'll do math on the fly here. So to win, the game's got to be 24-23. That doesn't even get me over, does it? It's got to be higher than that, right? Because that's just 47. So, okay. Do the math, Jim.
Okay, let me pull out a calculator.
Okay, so 27, 28, 27. So 27-26 gets me, that gets me, nope, that doesn't get me there. See, you see what I'm saying now? I got to get a lot of points.
It's 56.5, right?
Yeah.
So
wouldn't you have to go 29-28?
Yeah.
Yes.
See, so we're talking both teams in 4 touchdown territory. So Josh says 24-23 Baylor, so Auburn in the under is his play there. But see, that's a lot of points when you got each team needs 4 touchdowns.
It is. I go back and forth on this game. I go back and forth because I think it has potential to be very exciting for Auburn fans. But then at the same time, I feel like when you have so much weight placed on one game, which I feel like that's what this is for Auburn, because
and a little bit for Baylor too.
Correct. So that, it could be a defensive battle.
Yeah. It could be very close to the vest for the coaches. Don't want to screw anything up early on. I like RTD4 there with the under. It's been a while since I've jumped into that chat room. I'm trying to remember if RTD4 is a good gambler or is he a Jim Dunaway gambler? Because I'm wanting to run to the window right now and put the money on the under there. Put the money on the under there. Rosie Langello in a second. A lot more to get to in our opening segment. Forster, I didn't ask you to do this before the show, but I had a picture of me in a hat from Saturday night fish fry. Can you just, on my Twitter feed, can you just get that while I tell people about Storm Restoration Roofing, just as soon as you can pull that up? Try to shut somebody up in the chat room here quickly. But first, you can schedule an absolute free estimate, yes, free, with our buddy Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing. 3 ways to do that. Go to the website, stormrestorationroofing.com, or call Greg Nelson on his cell phone, 205-542-3531. Or just go to Facebook and follow Greg from Pell City right there. A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau as they handle storm damage, roofing replacement. Greg even has a builder's license, so he can help with restoration or repairs there. He's great with insurance agents because he's been doing this locally right here in the area for over 20 years. It's Greg from Pell City, 205-542-3531. And our friends at Storm Restoration Roofing. I did not wear my new hat from University Traditions today. They sent me one out of respect to the person sitting to the right of me, but I did wear it out into a fish fry. All my friends are Auburn people, Auburn graduates who married Auburn girls. And so I was going over to their house for a big fish fry on Saturday night, so I put on my new hat right there. Spend my dollar.
A sing-along Monday morning karaoke.
Yeah, so what do you think of that hat right there?
I think it looks great.
Yeah, I got a lot of compliments about that hat.
That's a good-looking hat.
Spend my dollar.
You wouldn't have offended me if you wore it.
I got another team's hat that I plan on wearing at some point this week. I may bring Spend My Dollar up here. I do have. And I bring that up only because Landmine Believer says Taylor is the second biggest partner on the desk today.
Landmine Believer's been around for a while. Where did the communication get lost?
He's all over me. I'm not big enough Alabama for him there. So I got to Spend My Dollar hat. Do you have one of those, Landmine Believer? Come on now. But I got one more. I got another team's hat from the SEC. And this hat drove my wife insane when I opened the package. University Traditions. What team do you think it was?
If it drove Maggie crazy?
Drove her crazy when I got it. SEC. Don't say North Carolina because, of course, that's ACC. But it's another SEC, and I got the hat for a reason because of what it says on there. This one said, Spend My Dollar.
Another SEC hat?
Yeah.
Was it by your choice?
Yeah.
Or you were gifted it?
Yeah. I was gifted them. I appreciate the folks at University Traditions. I know those guys from day one, and that was Jay says that's a fire hat. You can get them, man. They're sold out right now because everybody wants to spend a dollar, right? While they're parked in the holla.
What would make Maggie mad?
She doesn't like it when I get a little out over my skis. When I get a little confidence, she likes me to be humble.
Yeah.
And I occasionally, in my head, I probably think I'm a 9 or 10. I'm a catch. In reality, I'm probably a 6.5, 7.
Where is this going?
I got me a South Carolina hat that all it says on the front is cocky.
Okay.
And she was like, you're never wearing that with me beside you.
So, but you're going to wear it on air this week?
Oh, yes. It's a smoke hat.
Okay.
It's black with a little garnet trim, and it just says cocky.
Have you worn it yet?
Oh, no.
Okay.
I only got them Saturday before the fish fry.
Okay.
So
yeah, you had to wear the Spend My Dollar to the fish fry.
Had to be first one because of my Auburn friends. They love that. All right. We're going to update you on what we know on Deion Sanders, what's happening today. That's pretty huge. Couple other things to get to, including a broken roller coaster here in the first segment. Why the hell you get on this thing for a second time, third time, or fourth time?
Yeah.
I don't know. But that's in a second. Show always brought to you by the great Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys. He's a national firm with Southern roots headquartered right here in Birmingham. In 24 years, the firm has grown to over 150 lawyers, elite trial lawyers who have recovered over $2 billion while maintaining Alexander's core values of integrity, mastery, passion, and success. If you find yourself in need of a lawyer, call Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys. You pay nothing unless they win the case. Big day at Colorado. Deion Sanders back at work. They're going to hold a news conference happening later today. Medical team will be beside Deion for this news conference where they're going to talk about his medical situation. There was a video that was put out by Deion Sanders Jr. You know, he sort of handles their social media. And in that video, Deion Sanders says, it was back on May. He was obviously at a hospital going through a medical treatment. And he said, last night was real. And I'm paraphrasing here. He had to fill out a will. And now I don't know about you guys at home, men and women, but the first thing, not even when I got married, I didn't do it until after we had Harper. First thing I did then was fill out a will because you need to sort of have who's going to take care of the kids should something happen to you and Maggie at the same time, right? Me and the wife at the same time. So I'm shocked that Deion didn't already have a will. But he made it sound like he was filling out his first will. He was really down. It's reality. I need to make sure everybody's straight money-wise just in case this doesn't go well. So it was serious enough to where he was thinking about this could be a battle. Now, his son says he battled it. He won. It's not completely over yet. But they're going to have a news conference later on. Landmine believer, others talking about blood clot issues. He's obviously had some amputations at the lower part of his limbs. All of these problems. We'll see what comes of that today. Do you think in the back of your head there's still a chance Deion Sanders doesn't coach in games this year, that he misses games or has to take a leave of absence?
Well, that's what I was going to ask, because he was spending time, was it in Texas? I might be wrong there, but
that's where his main home is.
Stepped away to deal with, whatever might be going on, and the fact that he's bringing his medical team to a press conference says something, because if everything was fine, he would just go and, carry on as he typically would.
Right.
But like you said, the whole will conversation obviously means that it's something very serious. And the fact that the medical team's coming to the press conference kind of makes me wonder, will he coach a game this year?
I'll be watching later today when they get up there. I'm interested in everybody's thoughts on the job Deion Sanders has done so far. We were quick to pile on him because of all the hype before year one. And, he exceeded expectations early, leveled off late. Last year, though, dude turned in, what was that record last year? 9-4. Best record since 2016. What kind of job do you think Deion Sanders has done?
I think he's done a good job, considering what he took over. And like you said, exceeded expectations. There were a lot of people that did doubt him heading into his first year. But in my opinion, a lot of the negativity stems from things that happen off the field. Comments made, initially I'm bringing my Louis, that whole comment. And then the way things were handled, retiring Shador's jersey, all of that kind of stuff. I feel like the negativity revolving around Deion at Colorado has stemmed a lot from those kind of off the field antics. But in terms of on field success, again, he took over a program that was in poverty.
Yes.
And his name helps in making them relevant because there was excitement and there was a lot of curiosity as to how it would turn out. But I think that I think his performance as a coach, all the other, off the field antics aside, I think that he's done well at Colorado.
All the viewers and listeners who are in the chat room and joining us on our social media platforms today are all, you guys are painting him as a down year this year. He's lost Shador. He's lost Trav. He's lost a lot of talent. If he's 6-6 again with that roster, replacing those people, that's another great coaching job at Colorado.
Right. And they have Juju Lewis ended up, because I remember there was all of the talk about him in Auburn. I think a lot of people were kind of surprised that that's where he ended up. But like you said, I mean, the stars on that roster.
Got the quarterback from Liberty, so he's got an experienced one and a big 5-star rookie.
But the talk of the roster last season was Travis Hunter, Shunnarah Sanders.
Both of them fantastic.
And, they will both be, in the NFL, obviously, this upcoming season. So he doesn't have his stars. I'm interested. And then again, will he be coaching?
That's right. I mean, you want to go back to old Colorado. Old Colorado, who hasn't had a 9-win season since 2016. You go back really quick to old Colorado. If Deion Sanders in his news conference today says, I physically can't do my job, I'm going to step away for a little bit.
Well, what do you make of the medical team coming? Because in my mind, that seems like this is going to be a major...
I don't know if you've heard me say this about 1,000 bazillion times in my time in the media. It's hard to believe, but I was a public relations minor. My minor's in public relations. Now, she's trying not to laugh because I am a public relations nightmare.
Can be at times.
I wear my emotions on my sleeves. Like, when I tell people, I'm thinking about getting out of sportscasting, they haven't offered me, but people are like, hey, Alabama Power, Southern Company, you could be the PR person for them. And my friends would always Jim, can you imagine your personality? Devastating storms, flooding, and you're the person stepping out for Alabama Power. You're going to be speaking, or the Red Cross.
Wait, you told a story about you hosting an event. I think it was a fundraiser.
Oh,
I can't remember what it was, but you had to step aside.
Children's Hospital. I did the telethon for 11 years, and I couldn't get through without crying. And they were you will be the worst PR person ever. Don't give up sportscasting. Stay where you are.
I agree.
Because you'll get emotional and you'll cry if you're at a devastating storm with the Red Cross or Southern Company, or you'll get pissed off at a question. People are like, we don't believe that there's only 100,000 outages. Everybody says they don't have power. I'm telling you, it's 100,000 outages.
Yeah, I think you should stick where you're at.
Yeah, I bring that up to say, if I was Deion, I would want my health situation with a nice bow on it.
Yeah.
That would help me in recruiting and explain why I've been away from the program. And having the medical team, you could do two things. You could, if it's, I don't know what it is, but if it's a serious thing that he's battling, you can inspire other people. We've battled it, not fully recovered yet, but we're beating it thanks to these great doctors. If you're suffering from what I'm suffering with, you can win too. So you can use it as motivational. You can also help your program recruiting wise by putting a bow on it with a medical team. That's how I would do the medical situation.
Okay, so you don't think it necessarily is a tell one way or the other?
I don't think it is. We'll talk Happy Gilmore too coming up later in the show. I got thoughts on it. Forster watched it. Tyler, did you watch it?
I did not.
Okay. We'll talk about it coming up later in the show. We'll get to that. Roller coaster in a second, and then Rosie Langello in segment number 2. But first off, a reminder that Bojangles has 7 sauces that will definitely add a little flavor to every bite you get for lunch or dinner today. Taylor Korn loves some ranch.
I do.
They have house-made ranch at Bojangles for you and all the others. From sweet to heat, nothing pairs better with Bojangles hand-breaded tenders. Honey mustard, barbecue, creamy buffalo, the peach honey pepper, the house-made ranch, and so much more. Hand-breaded tenders with your favorite sauce. It is Bo time. I hate roller coasters.
That doesn't surprise me for some reason.
Them. Last time I was on one was, I was down at Tampa covering the national championship. Lauren Sisler, now with ESPN, and I were co-workers, and we were down there, and there was a day off before the game, one of those long extended road trips of media coverage, and we had the day before night shows to go to Busch Gardens. And I told her on our day off, she loves roller coasters. I said, I'll go and I will ride every ride. I'll ride every ride. And I did. It was the coldest Tampa's ever been for their bowl game. It was like 53 degrees high. Freeze your butt off on a roller coaster at 53 degrees. We did that thing that takes you up the post way high and leans you over and then drops you. Did that. Watching the Alabama players do that was hilarious. Did all of that. I don't know if I'll ever get on a roller coaster again, especially one that has once broken. How about twice broken? How about 4 times? This is Sandusky, Ohio, and the roller coaster is called Siren's Curse in Sandusky, the amusement park. And obviously it is broken down again, and those people without safety harnesses are having to exit the roller coaster again and walk their way down. I would be sitting in the cart, I think.
Well, like you said, it has malfunctioned 4 times. This is the 4th time. Why? They should probably just shut it down for a beat.
I mean, something's not working, obviously.
Something's not
Look
working.
at that incline they're on, and they're walking down. I'm scared of heights. Why get on a roller coaster at all? I don't know, but I never think it's going to do. Look at that. You pull back. Look how high up that is.
Yeah. I mean, are there children up there? What's going on?
Oh, my God. I can't imagine if one of my kids were there, too, because worse than me falling is watching one of my kids fall.
I think this is the same roller coaster I had on Trash a few weeks back when it broke down a previous time. There's a part of the track where you're not connected to the hill, and so it, like, tilts the whole part of the track that the carts are on down and then connects to the rest of the track and then sends you down the hill. And that's where a lot of the malfunctions are. Yeah, the worst type of roller coaster to malfunction, I feel like, is one where the track...
where there's no track.
You're expecting a track to connect where there is not one already.
Now, you're telling me you've been to this amusement park.
I have. So I don't know exactly how far away it is, but Michigan, where I was born, where all my family still lives, it's not far away. And I haven't been in a couple years, but when we were younger... one of our uncles every summer would get all the kids, probably give our parents a break, and he would take us to Cedar Point. So I've walked the grounds of this amusement park a number of times.
So it's not like Disney Ohio or like Six Flags over Ohio or anything like that, right? Does it have a name brand, or is it just...
No, it's called Cedar Point. I don't know if it's associated with any of those other like bigger amusement parks, but
that's a big, intense roller coaster, though.
I think it's big. I mean, it's a big amusement park. I think it's big for the people that are around there. I don't know that people are necessarily traveling to visit it. Probably not after this. I feel like they've had a decent amount of bad PR recently.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a big amusement park.
Yeah, I'd shut that thing down.
Yeah, they need to retire that one.
Yeah. Hopefully everybody got off okay. No bueno for me. Rosie Langello, sports director, WSFA, talking Auburn and Alabama and SEC football coming up in the next segment. Later on, Hokanson on Auburn, Lamb on Alabama as camps open up this week. We are just 26 days away from week 0. If you're not paying attention, Thursday night, NFL exhibition season starts. So football is back this week. So, too, is your battle maybe to lose weight. I've gained 5 pounds in my time off. I got to get back on my Way to Wellness plan. They can help you out as well. There's a great way for you to simplify your weight loss with my friend Leslie, her board-certified team at Way to Wellness. Visit their website at planforme.com. Way to Wellness has a personalized plan that works and is designed specifically for you. No cookie-cutter plan there. Everyone needs something different. You may want meal replacements, injection therapy. I use those protein bars. They keep me from bad snacking between meals. The website, again, is at planforme.com. They have diet plans for diabetes, heart disease, sleep apnea, and a lot more. No contracts, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free. Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at jimdunaway.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, company truck accident, car accident, or work-related accident? Call Alabama's largest personal injury firm. Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys will fight for every dollar you deserve. and it won't cost you a dime. Trust me. What do you say, man?
Call me, Alabama.
Call 659-777-7777 or go to Shunnarah.com.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
Man, I love a good meal. I'm Jim Dunaway. A good meal is what you get with my friend Sterling at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster. We're talking great southern fried chicken, wonderful sides, hand-cut chicken fingers, po' boys, and those Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. You got a perfect menu for everybody. Champy's Chicken is perfect for watching the big game or taking a meal to the lake house, down to the coast, or stay in the restaurant and dine in a great atmosphere. It's all made fresh to order right there on 119 in Alabaster, Champy's Chicken.
What are you waiting for? It's non-stop gaming action at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Come play more than 900 of the latest and greatest games around, featuring fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can wager and win on horse and greyhound races from all over the world. There are more ways to win at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Birmingham Racecourse Casino, located off I-459 exit 31 Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Looking to expand your business? Let The Next Round help you. Contact us, sales@nextroundlive.com, and be part of the team. Advertise your product to hundreds of thousands of potential customers on our ever-expanding platforms. The Next Round can take your business to the next level. Join our existing partners in the fastest-growing media space, both live and on demand, while reaching the most desirable audience for your business. Get more information by emailing sales@nextroundlive.com, and one of our team members will work with you to build a plan to take your business to the next level using The Next Round.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on The Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at The Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
Since you listened to my last message so well and got rid of those cargo shorts and stained t-shirts, it's time to replace them with Roback. Go to Roback.com and click on the Refresh collection to find all that you need for an EG-approved wardrobe. It includes pieces that will have you ready to hit the golf course after a busy day of meetings or comfy favorites for travel and working from home. Get 20% off using code TNR20. See, I'm saving you some money.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Hey, back with you on The Next Round. You people that follow Alabama may be missing a couple of bylines this week. Katie Wyndham, who covers the Tide, Tony Sakakis, who covers the Tide, they got married over the weekend. They were on a little honeymoon, so they'll miss day 1 or 2 of camp. They'll be back before they put pads on. The football team, not Katie and Tony. Congratulations to those folks. And to my buddy, Vern Funquist on Twitter, Chris Marler, who does some work around here. He got down on a knee and asked Allie if she'd marry him. And Chris Marler, who I feel like's a little bit of a bammer, Allie is 100,000% a Barner, are going to have one of those divided households. But she said yes, they're getting married. Congratulations to those two.
Daniel A. Moore probably should have painted that thing right there. It's an Iron Bowl classic. Our friends at New Life Art brings you all the limited edition prints by Daniel Moore, including collegiate classics from Nick Saban's national championships, great moments in Iron Bowl history, and so much more. That includes items like the Legacy Continues coffee mugs and calendars you can get on site as well. You can even find a Daniel Moore secondary marketplace. It's all online, danielmooreart.com.
And now on the Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys Hotline is a good friend of both of ours.
All right, yes.
WSFA Sports Director Rosie Langello. Rosie, how are you?
Hey guys, I'm great. Thanks for having me on. I was so excited when Dunaway asked me. I was like, oh my gosh, yes, full circle moment. I listened to you guys, 3 years ago? A friend of mine at the time was like, you should listen to this radio show in Birmingham, because I was really big on Boston radio when I lived up in New England. And I was like, all right, sure. And to be honest with you, I didn't listen for another 6 months because I was just a little overwhelmed with everything. And then I got on board. So it's a good little full circle moment. Thanks again.
Well, we're glad you're here. And I wouldn't say fresh off of SEC Media Days, but that's the last, big event that happened. You were the first person that I saw report the story about Keldrick Falk, who's getting talked about a lot in terms of draft buzz for next season. But can you talk a little bit about the story that he told you that ended up turning into a big talking point throughout the rest of the day for the Auburn Star?
Yeah. So I find out that, he helped a walk-on teammate with some of his NIL money, which is very Keldrick to do. And if you know the Falk family, you know that they love to give back, and covering him and his brother at Highland Home and being in that community, it's just such a cool thing to see. And it's very full circle, covering Keldrick from high school in Highland Home up until now. And, he's projected as a 2026 first round draft pick. That's not even on his mind. I asked him about it, and he wanted to talk more about how he helped his teammate out, which was so cool. And he just recognized a need, and he was just like, hey, you know what I mean? I want to help you out. And again, if you know that family and know him, it's not shocking, but it also is a great story that definitely needed to be told.
Do you think, I know he had people that were buzzing his agent or his family's phone trying to get him to transfer. It says a lot about him that he hung around, right? He could have gone probably anywhere in the country.
Yeah, well, I was there for when he flipped. Where was he committed to? Florida State, gosh, years ago now. And I was there the day that he flipped to Auburn, and his family was so excited the day that he flipped. It was awesome. It was a great moment to see. And I believe his brother flipped too, if I remember correctly. It's been a little bit. But yeah, he could have went a lot of other places, and a lot of our local kids that are still on Auburn could have went other places too, and a lot of them have stayed put. I think they believe that this season they're going to be a lot better roster, and especially for Keldrick, he just tweeted something out not long ago and was like, hey, believe in Auburn football or something like that. I don't want to take his words out of context there, but he said something like that, and he just has the confidence and the belief that they're going to be better.
The players were confident, and Hugh Freeze seemed a lot more confident than he typically has in the past when speaking to the media. He's very transparent, some say to a fault at times. But What did you take from the way that Hugh Freeze spoke about his team this year and his expectations?
Yeah, well, I was in that main media room when he spoke at the very end. I missed the digital media session, and then I spoke with him one-on-one, and then I was in the media room. And I think it was EG that asked him a question, and his response was yeah, we're going to be in the playoff discussion. And I was sipping coffee and coughed up my coffee because I was like, whoa, whoa, okay. You know what I mean? Did not expect him to say that. And you're right, Taylor. I think he's one of those coaches that maybe sometimes overshares a little too much with the media, but to each their own. I'm not going to tell you how to talk with the media. But that was definitely one of my biggest takeaways from him, going from a 5-7 team to the playoff discussion. But he feels like it's a prove it year. He feels like the roster is good enough. He's been telling us he needs that 3 years of recruiting, but you just had 2 back-to-back top 10 recruiting classes. So I think it kind of just boils down to obviously execution, but the coaches as well. What are we going to see from the coaches this season that maybe we didn't see last year? But that was my biggest takeaway, was him saying playoff discussion for sure. And the confidence, he talked to you guys months ago with the whole bowl game thing that blew up.
Yep.
And that was one of those moments where I was like, maybe he should have said something a little different. But then he recovered. I guess he recovered at SEC Media Days.
Well, see, that's I felt like he had to say playoffs because of the way it was perceived and what he said on our air.
He couldn't go out there and say bowl game again because we got painted.
I wonder what those discussions were.
Yeah.
Like, hey, maybe you shouldn't say that, and maybe you should say this at media days. I don't know. I think he does believe though that his team will be a lot better, playoff better. I don't know, but I just always wonder, as a media person and looking at the PR people, like, do they have those conversations? Like, hey, don't say that. Maybe we should, say this instead. I always wonder what those conversations look like.
Yeah. At SEC Media Days, you got more time to think about what you're going to say as opposed to coming off a golf course after 18 holes of golf.
How ironic.
And eating a lunch and then hop. Yeah. It was ironic as we look back on it. He was coming off a golf course. Rosie Langello is with us on the Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys Hotline. She's the sports director, Emmy Award winner, down at WSFA in Montgomery, covers Auburn, Alabama, and the SEC. And, Alabama, playoff talk there. You saw the SEC media prediction coming out. What was your big takeaway of what the media thinks the season will end up? And do you get the feeling Alabama has that playoff aura around them?
Yeah, I think they have an edge this year for sure going into Kalen DeBoer's year 2. He's a lot more confident. I think he's a lot more comfortable, especially that he brings in Ryan Grubb, right? Like, that's his guy. He wanted him to be there. So I'm excited to see what the offense does with Ty Simpson too. But the order of the finish, right, for SEC Media Days, it was Texas, Georgia, Alabama, LSU. Like, that makes perfect sense to me. I think that we hit it nail on the head with that one. I do think that Alabama will make a playoff appearance this year for sure. How far they go, not sure. But I think they have the edge, especially with the defense too. Their secondary, and then we have a local guy in Quay Russaw who I think is going to be a huge playmaker. He saw a lot of good reps last year, and I think he'll be great as well. But yeah, and then like the order of finish after that, South Carolina, Florida, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, Tennessee, I kind of feel like that's just kind of, that could go anyway, right? Like any of those teams, it feels like kind of a free-for-all in that like second tier of teams in that order. But as far as Alabama being third in that finish, I totally agree with that for sure.
I described it like a cupcake this year in the SEC. Okay, here, follow my analogy.
Buckle up.
Okay.
Oh,
Taylor loves these, okay? A cupcake, best part's the icing, right?
Yeah.
4 teams on top, and then everybody else is the cake part left. Not bad, but really I'm here for the icing on top, the top of the cupcake. It's a cupcake year in the SEC for me. Really good at the top. And then there's a lot of good, but nothing that gets into the icing part. It's a cupcake year.
Okay.
So there's no icing in the middle, correct?
That's right.
Would you consider no icing in the middle? Okay.
I mean, I know how you and Cody run. Y'all probably get those high-end cupcakes that have the icing drilled through the middle of it, so every bite gets icing. Not in the trailer park where I'm from. You have a thin coat of icing on top and then a lot of dry cake. So
we're key lime pie people from Publix, so no cupcakes here. But I really like
key lime pie.
Like
okay.
Yeah. No, I like that. I agree with you for sure. But again, like, yes, that order, Texas, Georgia, Alabama, LSU, yes, that's the icing, but I think the icing could go either way as well, depending on schedules and things like that. And I think if Alabama performs better on the road, they'll be better than Georgia or maybe even Texas. You know what I mean? I think the road games will tell us a lot this year. That's an area where they really needed to improve on last year.
Absolutely.
Alabama's defense, PFF has been doing their rankings, and Alabama's defense got a lot of love. I believe they were the only team in college football with a player ranked in the top 10 at every defensive position.
That is correct.
Is that correct? Okay. So people are high on their defense. Obviously, Ryan Williams is one of the biggest names in college football. Heading into fall camp, do you have a question that you're looking to be answered?
Yes, actually, I think I wrote this down, and it was more the same with Auburn's too. But I think as far as Ty Simpson and the O-line, how is that going to go too with Caden Proctor coming back, and how comfortable Ty Simpson will be in that offense and what Ryan Grubb will do with that offense? I haven't seen much of Ty Simpson, right? I mean, really no one has. So I think my biggest question is just how that's going to gel, how quickly that will gel ahead of their first road game, which of course their first game is on the road. So like they're going to have to get that down quickly. Obviously they have the spring together, but fall camp is different, and leading up to the game, it's a different mentality, right? I think that's one of my questions there, is how they're all going to gel. And still with the offense, I think the running back position too. It seems like Jim Miller is going to be RB1, right? But then Richard Young, I think, is poised to break out too. And then on the defensive side, like I just think that Deontay Lawson coming back is so huge for them. I don't know if he'll be the same. He told us at media days he was a 9 out of a 10, right? So you have a little bit to get to 10 out of 10 when you go through fall camp, but excited to see him back. I think he's such an impact player. And then their secondary, I think, is going to be really good too.
Yeah. Well, you cover a lot of high school football. It shows the Fever. Is that what it is? The Fever at WSFA?
Yes,
She just called me sir. There we go. The Fever down at WSFA, all of our viewers in the Montgomery area know that show very well. You just had your media day. It does seem like that area is producing a lot of 5 and high 4-star folks lately that are going to Alabama, Auburn, Clemson, Georgia.
Yeah.
Tell me about the high school football down there. It's pretty
awesome.
good, right?
We have a great time. Yeah. Especially in like our 6A and 5A schools, we have a lot of crazy athletes that I think people are really going to see this season. And even when I first got here, like James Smith and Quay Russo out of Carver, I mean, they're both at Bama and they were spectacular. I believe they were 5 stars, 4 stars, 5 stars. And then, you know, he had Jeremiah Cobb couple years ago out of Montgomery Catholic, and that kid can run through a brick wall. I really hope he does have the standout year that Hugh Freeze keeps talking about. I think they need to give him the ball a lot more. But we have a lot of kids that I think this year are going to get a lot of eyeballs on them for sure. And then my husband coaches at Benjamin Russell and coaches Sedarian Morgan, and that's in our DMA. So that'll be great to have Fever highlights of him out of Benjamin Russell. So a lot of big players, a lot of big names I think you're going to hear about going into this Fever season. Makes our job a lot easier too.
And one thing that y'all did recently that I've talked to you a little bit about, but I thought it was so cool, and I'm sure that you saw it on Twitter as well, was a media day for every classification. And I think, was it a player or the coach and then 2 players, 3 players or something that y'all invited into your studio? And it seemed like it was a big success.
It was awesome. Yes. First year, I was very, very happy with the turnout. And that comes with just knowing the coaches and knowing the players. This is my 4th season covering football in this state. So I felt like it was time to finally be like, hey, we're going to do our own thing here. We usually have like a media day run by another media company here, which was awesome. Don't get me wrong. But I just feel like it's really cool if you're a high school athlete and you can see the inside of a studio where you watch your Friday night highlights from, right? So that's what we did. We invited all of our Fever schools that we cover, which is well over like 65, everywhere from AISA, 8-man football, all the way up to 7A and flag football, right? So people are in and out all day long. It took us a while to get the interviews done, but it wasn't longer than 20 minutes for these teams to be in and out of our building. They got a tour, they got their pictures taken, they got to be interviewed, there was food, they downloaded our new app. It was really neat to see it come to fruition. I've wanted to do that since I got here. So for it finally coming to fruition, like I said, it was really neat to see. I was really happy with the turnout.
You snuck in the husband who happened to one time wear the Penn State uniform, correct?
Yes, actually, I can show you. There you go.
There he is, number 86.
Yeah.
Is this the year Penn State wins one?
Oh, gosh. I don't know if you're asking the right person about this.
Yeah.
He'll say yes. I'm going to say not yet, but they were so close last year. I kind of thought last year would have been the year for them. This year, they lost some guys. I haven't really taken a big look at their schedule to see where they are on the road. But this show in particular, I feel like doesn't really like James Franklin. I think you guys are big James Franklin haters. And I actually believe in the guy. I do. After covering him for 2 seasons, I actually believe it. And they've put so much into that program and so much into James Franklin that he does win the big games. Okay, maybe not the Ohio State games, but I've seen him beat Michigan a few times. So yeah, I don't know if this is the year, but last year felt like they were way closer.
Trust me, dude, you can't have an Eagles Super Bowl and a Penn State National Championship in back-to-back.
We were so close, though.
I
mean, could you imagine? That state would have just blown up.
No, I'm too Southern to let all that Northern stuff happen. We need some Southern football success. She's Rosie Langello, WSFA. Go follow her on social media. and enjoy her coverage, whether it's high school football or college football, all season long, and basketball when we get there, because we're the basketball show crew, and we saw you all over the place too. In fact, I think that's where you and Taylor first met, was in a basketball tournament, right?
Yeah, Spokane, Washington.
Yeah, Spokane. Yeah.
My opening line to Taylor was like, "Hey, like, are you the girl that likes ranch?"
Yes.
Because she was sitting there like alone in Spokane, and I was like, "Who wants to be alone in Spokane?" No one.
Nobody.
You know what I mean? I sure did not want to be alone in that state or that area. So I was just like, "Hey, I heard you on the show." And then I think the next day was the day that she got like looped into the Grand Canyon people, which was so funny, and I'll never forget
I remember that. Live on the show.
They lassoed me. Yes.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's good. She's Rosie. Go follow her. Thanks for the time. We appreciate you helping us out today.
Yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Thanks so much for having me on.
This has a very morning show feel to it all of a sudden, doesn't it? It's like we got...
Does it?
Yeah, we got
great.
bubbly person on the Zoom, and a male and a female anchor up here. We're going to do weather. We're going to do weather and traffic here in a second or something. Rosie Langello.
Like you're back in local news.
Yeah, it does. It does. Viewing menu in a second. Another football thing to get to here before that. But I want to tell you about football returning Thursday night first. Lance's Lock will be all over it. Check out the free play on a big game every day at lanceslock.com. And you can subscribe right now just in time for the NFL preseason, which starts Thursday night. lanceslock.com, presented by our friends at Hemp Hill Services. The name Birmingham has trusted since 1954 for all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling issues. HempHillServices.com. 24 hours, 7 days a week, emergency heating, cooling, and plumbing services with our friends at Hemp Hill. That means any time of day, they will handle an emergency for you. 205-229-2090 or HempHillServices.com. We've got a new interview that's out. It's Emily Grace and Jim Miller, correct?
Correct.
When did that drop?
I believe Friday afternoon.
So you can see the whole interview. Tyler, if you'll give me cut number 9 first. I want you to hear a little bit of that, and then I want you, as a favor to me, go over to our YouTube channel and watch another great interview with Emily Grace and an Alabama player. This is running back Jim Miller. Huge for Alabama this year, because Justice Haynes, who was sort of running back number 2, left for Michigan. He's going to be a star up there. E.G. asked Jam right here about his decision to come back to Tuscaloosa.
All right, I want to go back to December. You made a decision to come back. What was that process like for you? What were the conversations that you were having, and what is it about this team that you said, I need to stick around?
When I made that decision to come back, in my mind, I'm like, the job's not finished, especially what happened last year, not winning a bowl game, and, they kind of hurt us as a team, and also the coaching staff. And this year we feel like we know what our number one goal is, and that's, of course, winning the national championship.
So you can see that whole interview right now on our YouTube channel. These players, Rosie mentioned Falk at Auburn. If you're any good, your phone's ringing off the hook. You make a decision every year right now with the rules to come back.
Right. And I think that right there is exactly what you want to hear from the guys on a team that you cheer for, is the chip on your shoulder type of mentality. Obviously the end of their season last year did not go as a lot expected in terms of the bowl game loss, but there's a lot of belief that there will be a lot of success under Kalen DeBoer in year 2. And I think it says a lot when, like you said, a lot of these players have opportunities to go elsewhere and potentially to make more money. But when you see players that would have been highly sought after in the transfer portal return, that's got to give you a pretty good feeling knowing that the players believe in the coaching staff.
Because Haynes got paid to go to Michigan. He'll be a stud in that offense up there. Alabama wants to run the football a lot better this year, and that's one of the reasons they are feeling pretty good about that running back room. You can see the whole interview. Fantastic stuff for Emily Grace McWhorter over on our YouTube channel. EG will join us live from Tuscaloosa, setting the table for Bama camp coming up on tomorrow's show. She'll be down for the start of Auburn camp on Wednesday down on the campus in Auburn. So EG will be joining the party with us throughout the week as well. Viewing menu time, Justin Hokanson at the top of the hour to talk Auburn football camp. But our friends at Michelson brings us the viewing menu. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jennifer Michelson have been leaders in the field of LASIK surgery for decades. In fact, you've heard Lance Taylor say right here on this show, his decision to get LASIK surgery almost 25 years ago was one of his best decisions in his life. Go to michelsonlaservision.com to see all the services they offer, including bladeless surgery. Just get the consultation like I did. I wasn't a candidate for LASIK surgery, but most people are. Farsighted, nearsighted. They've got the answers for you right there at michelsonlaservision.com. Tyler, what are you watching, man?
So once again this week, we have a new movie coming out, and so I'll be going through all of the old ones in preparation for the release. On Paramount Plus, you can watch all the original Naked Gun movies.
Oh, wow. How many are there?
3.
So Naked Gun 1, Naked Gun 2, Naked Gun 3, or they call them different things?
I forget what the second one's called, but the third one's the Naked Gun 33 1/3, the final insult. They had wacky titles from all of them.
I remember that now, yes.
Yes.
Not very good, I bet.
They're probably all good, but this is the Leslie Nielsen just being a goofball cop, and this is in preparation for the remake with Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson coming out this week.
All right.
And then on Prime, you can watch one of the first R-rated movies I ever saw. I was probably too young to watch this movie, but I think that's the case for a lot of people who saw this when it came out, and that's the original RoboCop from 1987.
R for violence?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Your R-rated movies and mine are totally different.
Okay. Yeah, this is not R-rated for Jim reasons. This is just a robot cop.
Yeah.
Protecting the city. And,
Protecting the city.
Is that where he says, I'll be back?
What's that?
Is that I'll be back? Is that in that movie?
That's Terminator.
Terminator. Okay. I'm good at this. This is where we miss Lance the most, by the way.
And then finally tonight, we've got another AMC Screen Unseen. It's rated PG, so if you're looking for a kids movie tonight, you want to beat the heat and go sit in an air-conditioned room for 2 hours with a nice cold soda. This one is most likely going to be a movie called Sketch. It's supposed to be a very wholesome kids movie, family movie, about a young girl who has a sketchbook that falls into a strange pond, and her drawings start coming to life.
Oh.
So just the classic sort of family story of kids' imagination goes absolutely wild, and there's consequences.
Okay, hot take on Happy Gilmore 2. Bring Forrester's mic in. Neither one of us have seen it yet. Forrester was very, very, he chose violence on social media. Your takeaway on Happy Gilmore 2, Forrester, was?
It sucks.
Okay.
It's terrible.
Okay. Can I just counterpoint you here? That how old were you when you watched the original Happy Gilmore?
Ooh. Let's see. Probably I was a teenager.
Okay. So my question to you would be, do you think teenage Scott Forrester would have liked Happy Gilmore 2?
Maybe.
Okay, that's
more than this version of Scott Forrester enjoyed it.
That's my point. All of the middle-aged people and older that are griping about this movie, Happy Gilmore 2 sucks, can't finish it, it's horrible, it's over the top, blah blah blah.
I too did not finish it, by the way.
You liked it when you were a kid and or teenager, or maybe early years in college, but now it's bad.
It's just not funny. It's not funny.
I don't think it's a hot take to even say that Adam Sandler isn't funny anymore.
Oh, no.
He's got to deal with Netflix, and he just makes whatever he wants to make.
He does.
And takes the check.
Justin Hokanson coming up on the other side. Send him that link there, and we'll get Hoke coming up on the Zoom link on the other side. Our friends at New York Butcher Shop, by the way. 2 great locations of New York Butcher Shop. Takes us to the top of the hour. They're open 10 a.m. right about now until 7 o'clock every day but Sunday, right there in Cahaba Heights and on 119, just off Highway 280. Certified Angus beef, high choice and prime, always freshly cut to guarantee juicy and delicious results. They offer great pork chops, pasture-raised chicken, in-house made sausage, and some of my favorites, the prepared entrees and dips right there. nybutcher.com, nybutcher.com. Just stop by and say hi to our buddy Jim today, either in Cabo Heights or on Highway 119. And don't forget those deli sandwiches for lunch either. New York Butcher Shop, Hour 2, coming up next.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, company truck accident, car accident, or work-related accident? Call Alabama's largest personal injury firm. Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys will fight for every dollar you deserve, and it won't cost you a dime. Trust me. What do you say, man?
Call me, Alabama.
Call 659-777-7777 or go to Shunnarah.com.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
As we all know, there's no off-season when it comes to college football. If you want to stay in the know with all things Alabama, join us over on covercrimson.com and get $25 off your annual subscription. We'll keep you up to date and give you exclusive content all the way to the first Saturday of football season on covercrimson.com.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Hang out with the Next Round on the go. Whether you're driving to work, running errands, sitting on the beach, or you just need a break from the real world, we can keep you company. Check out the Next Round, Mystery Fifth Hour, and our other shows on your favorite podcast app. We'll meet you there.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
No matter the occasion, the Next Round store has you covered with whatever you need. Head over to nextround.store and start filling your cart up now. When you wear your gear, make sure to let us know by posting on socials, and you might just end up seeing yourself during a commercial break. Go browse now at nextround.store and place your order before the break ends.
As we all know, there's no off-season when it comes to college football. If you want to stay in the know with all things Auburn, join us over on thebarnauburn.com and get $25 off your annual subscription. We'll keep you up to date and give you exclusive content all the way to the first Saturday of football season on thebarnauburn.com.
What are you waiting for? It's non-stop gaming action at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Come play more than 900 of the latest and greatest games around, featuring fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can wager and win on horse and greyhound races from all over the world. There are more ways to win at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Birmingham Racecourse Casino, located off I-459, exit 31, Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios. The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
All right, hour number 2 starts right now. Brownie LT on vacation this week. Well deserved. They're both off with family and friends, enjoying a little time. Jim Dunaway, Taylor Korn in here early. Tyler and Forster in their usual position. 26 days away from week 0. And the show this hour being brought to you by our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. They're there for you and your health, and not just men either. They'll take care of the women in your life too. But for the guys listening, from prostate health to kidney stones and everything in between, they have you covered with 16 great locations. Find the one near you. 205-930-0920 or urologycentersalabama.com. For over 70 years, UCA has provided state-of-the-art, patient-centered urological care with integrity and compassion. That's why I use our friends at urologycentersalabama.com. Justin Hokanson, longtime friend. Auburn Live on 3 Sports. It is camp time, Hoke. Welcome to the show, buddy. Auburn Sports Show behind you there. I see the sign. It's almost time, ready to roll with camp. Are you excited about this camp season starting? Finally getting on the field.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I hear you perfectly. Loud and clear.
All right, good. I had a little audio issue. Yeah. I think it's going to be interesting. It's been a long couple of months where I feel like all we've talked about in the last month or two has been Auburn recruiting. So I guess it'll be a little bit different to actually talk about the team and what they're capable of and all that good stuff.
Where's your level of confidence heading into the season in comparison to last?
I mean, it's a little higher, but just because I think that there's a few more weapons offensively. I mean, I think you feel a little bit better about the offense. Although, going into last year, you thought year 2, Peyton Thorne, Hugh Freeze, you thought there was some ability there. But I think the ability at wide receiver, Cam Coleman, a year older, you feel like you shored up the offensive line a little bit. You're getting Xavier Chaplin. So you feel a little bit better about the offensive line. You feel a little bit better about quarterback. A year older Cam Coleman. You had Keandre Lambert-Smith, but now you got Eric Singleton. So I think that's sort of a trade-off. Singleton's probably a little bit better, a little bit faster. So I think offensively you feel a little bit better. Defensively, probably about the same. I mean, you trust Durkin. There's still a little bit I want to see from linebacker and interior defensive lineman, kind of what that looks like. But I think your confidence has got to be a little higher. Just because I think the offense, you're looking at the offense and going, I think that there's some weapons there to get the job done. But, one of my biggest issues is, I mean, Hugh Freeze so far in 2 years has just consistently put an inconsistent product on the field. So, like, a lot of my concerns are, yes, some personnel stuff, but I want to see a team that's put on the field that's consistent on third downs, that doesn't screw up critical plays, that doesn't turn the ball over. Like, that's the stuff that wins and loses ball games, and I just see a lot of stuff fall through the cracks in the first 2 years in terms of preparation. So I don't know what that's going to look like. Hugh Freeze is still the head coach, and so I want to see some of that get cleaned up before I really think, okay, this team has turned the corner. There's some better talent, but they've got to be better prepared going into some of these games as well.
Yeah, inconsistency is a great word right there. Do you think some of that is personnel fitting scheme too? Can that cause inconsistency? I saw inconsistency in Tuscaloosa last year, and I think it in part was because personnel didn't necessarily fit scheme all the time. Do you think that maybe has been a little bit of a problem for Hugh and Auburn early on?
It probably helped contribute. I mean, I thought Peyton got too much backlash last year, but I don't think anybody would argue that he's not a perfect fit for what Hugh Freeze and them wanted and what they want to do on offense. I think Jackson Arnold appears to be a little better fit, a little bit more mobile. Certainly has the arm talent, probably a little bit better arm talent than Peyton does. So I think the fit there is pretty good. And so that can contribute to some of that, sure. I go back to last year, and I think Hugh Freeze trying to be the head coach and do all the head coach things, and then also be the primary play caller on game day, which is what he is. That's what I need to see kind of marry up. And I want to see that a little bit cleaner on Saturdays. There's just things that, that need to go from the game week to preparation to Saturday to where it's a really clean operation. I don't want to see Jackson Arnold and Hugh Freeze look like they are not on the same page after a third down botch, and you get on the sideline and you can clearly see that they're confused with each other. That's the stuff that you don't want to see.
Jackson Arnold was highly sought after coming out of high school, and we all know that he was a part of a team that suffered a lot of injuries last season. His confidence seems to have improved some since he's gotten to Auburn based off of what he has said, based off what the coaching staff has said. Do you expect to see the Jackson Arnold that everyone thought that they would see at Oklahoma? Or do you think that some of those issues that we saw last year could carry over even though he has better talent around him?
That's a good question, and I think we've heard Hugh Freeze talk about that in the offseason about how he needed to rebuild his confidence, get his swagger back. We've heard Jackson Arnold say he feels more confident. We've heard him say the right things, and it sounds like he's, doing all the right things. It sounds like the team looks to him as a leader. He's a captain. But I don't know. I'm kind of like, until we see it, let's see what the Baylor game looks like. When it's tough, things aren't going their way. Let's just sort of see how that plays out. No question, he's got some talent. I mean, Eric Singleton and Cam Coleman's a great place to start, and you've got an offensive line that's pretty good. Offensive coordinator last year at Oklahoma was fired in the middle of the year. He was sacked Oklahoma gave up 40, 50 sacks. I mean, that was a terrible situation. You heard Brent Venables talk about it. He was like, he didn't have a lot of opportunity to succeed last year, like in all fairness. So I think it'll take a few games. I'm sure that he's getting his confidence back. He thinks the receivers are pretty good. He likes some of the talent he has to throw to, but nothing kind of compares to going out on the field and doing it. Like, go to Baylor first game and win on the road and watch where his confidence is. That's the stuff that can get his confidence up. Go to Oklahoma, and that's going to be a tough game. Maybe you win, maybe you don't, but play well. That's the stuff that'll really build his confidence. But I think he's gotten back to at least a decent place in terms of feeling like he's a really good quarterback. And look, Hughes talked him up. I mean, Hughes said all the right things in the postseason about how good he is, Gatorade Player of the Year. He's got a lot of talent. So he's certainly getting a lot of encouragement from the staff in terms of what he's capable of, and that probably feels good.
Listen, I know I've worked for parent companies before too. One of the things I love the most about On3 Sports is your player, the NIL valuations. I'm interested, before I ask you my NIL valuation question. Do you ever get feedback from coaches, assistant coaches, people that handle recruiting, foot on the ground? I wonder if any of your people like you're at Auburn, other places. Do coaches ever say, "Hey, tell your boys at On3 they're costing me money by doing these valuations"?
No, I don't hear about it. I mean, I think agents are a big part of that. A lot of the On3 evaluations some of it's kind of agent talk, some of it's social media, and they just try to sort of figure it out. I think that's something that'll take a few years to sort of hone in to try to figure out those valuations, but it's never going to be dead on. To me, agents are the bigger issue, because agents will talk to anybody in the media. They'll put out whatever number they want to put out, and that will inflate things and make things harder to deal with when it comes to creating deals. So no, I haven't received any feedback. I think the agents sometimes getting numbers out can really make things messy, because then you have a coaching staff going back saying, "Wait a minute, we just saw, this report you're asking for this. Some school offered you this. Like, wait, what? Like, well, this is not what we talked about privately." And so I think agents will mess these numbers up some, because they're in it for the players, obviously, and for themselves.
Yeah, bring it up because On3 put out their top 100 on their evaluations, and not only were there a couple of Auburn basketball players on there, the Jackson Arnold number was there, but also left tackle, which I saw that, and I try to tell my kids. I mean, it's not always true, but my buddy bought a $275 pool golf cart. I paid $110 for mine. His is a lot better than mine. I always feel like you get what you pay for. The left tackle at Auburn looks like he's going to be pretty good. He's on that list.
Well, I haven't seen it. Sorry, I've been busy. What's he at? What do they list him as? What's his valuation?
It's either 1.3, 1.7 million, but he's one of the higher left tackles on that list.
That's probably a little low. That's probably a little low.
Oh, almost spit my water out.
A tad low is what I would say. That's pretty close, but I would say that number is even a tad low. But it's all. I mean, all this stuff is what you need. If you're Auburn and you need a left tackle, you got to shore up your line. That dude's worth a lot more to you than he is to a school that's got a solidified left tackle. So it's all about the market. Jackson Arnold. I mean, it's all about what does a school need. That's why some of this stuff is so inflated, because the pressure's to win, the pressure's on these coaches to win, these fans, boosters want to win. And if a school's willing to pay this guy X because they really need a left tackle, good for the player, It could be a tad inflated, but if that's what they need, that's what they need. I mean, it's no different than a housing market. You're like, that's not worth it, but it is what it is. If somebody's going to pay it, then somebody's going to pay it, and that's what it is. So, I mean, that's probably a tad low for what I would say Auburn committed resource-wise to Chaplin.
In terms of where Auburn currently stands recruiting-wise, there have been a lot of questions and a lot of confusion regarding the house settlement and Auburn's lack of success on the recruiting trail up until they picked up a couple of commits recently. But where do you think they stand? Do you think they're starting to pivot? Do you think that they have more clarity? Where do you think that Auburn stands with all of that?
I would say there's more clarity in that there's almost less clarity. Like, some of the stuff we've heard recently about, it looks like collectives may be able to still operate the way they have in the past. That was a concern. The CSC put out the thing saying you got to be a business, you got to offer the same stuff to the general, but now it looks like maybe that's not the case. There's information that keeps coming out that on one hand makes it more confusing, but on the other hand can create more clarity because more information will help you get the bigger picture. So I don't know if they've pivoted yet. I don't know if there's been a big pivot yet. I still think we're just about to get into August, which is when written offers can be put down and you can start to see what schools will actually be willing to put on paper. And then Auburn can start to see, are schools going to back up what they were saying the last 3 months? You'll start to see some of that. And then I think the month of August, I think, is when Auburn internally will start to go, okay, where do we pivot? Where do we pivot to? Schools are actually backing up their verbal offers with these written offers, or schools are putting these written offers out, but the way they're structuring it, whether it's maybe they're promising more NIL and less rev share, and so Auburn says, okay, well, all right, now we know a number, let's structure it differently. I think the month of August is where internally they'll have a lot of clarity. I don't know that there's been a big pivot yet. The collective thing's interesting because I know that on to Victory, for instance, I know that they've sort of been told to stand by the last couple of months by the administration. Just sit back, because they didn't know. I mean, collectives, are you going to be able to operate like normal? Do you have to start offering these services to the general public? And so that, we're not sure right now where that's at. So, I know Under Victory's kind of been told to just sort of stand back, and which is in line with what the administration said in terms of we're just going to kind of wait and see. I know that they think another big part of thinking through this is the rosters for next year. Theoretically, to me, you should start to see recruiting rankings. There should be more fluctuation, because if Auburn's looking at next year's roster, they should be going, we think we can bring Jackson Arnold back. We think we can bring Cam Coleman back. We think we can bring Jay Crawford. Or if they think they can bring the majority of the roster back, well, that's going to cost a lot of money.
Yep.
And so they got to figure that out before they can even commit resources to the recruiting class. They got to go, what's our roster next year? What do we anticipate that costing? Now, what can we put towards the recruiting class? Because if we commit too much to the class, well, we can't bring the roster back we want. And so every team should start to look different. Some team might say, we're losing 40 dudes, so we have a ton to put towards the class. There should start to be a little bit of difference based on what you're going to bring back roster-wise. So that's something else to sort of think about, where maybe a team finishes 20th in recruiting, but it doesn't necessarily mean they didn't recruit well. It could mean they're committing a ton of resources to their roster to come back, and they just wanted to pick and choose and get a few guys in the class, if that makes sense. So yeah. I think August we'll start to maybe see internally if they need to pivot or not, but I think there's still a lot to sort of learn and a lot of different ways to look at this.
Yeah, it's like the Detroit Lions are young and talented, and everybody's under contract. They're not big shoppers in the free agent market. If you lost a lot of players, you're out shopping in the free agent market. I'll save the question about Serbian basketball for her. My last question on football is a little shift in the betting line for the Baylor game. Money line, it's about a pick 'em. This is the most important game for Auburn football since when? I mean, take out Iron Bowls. They're all huge. Biggest game for Auburn since. And I know I put you on the spot here, but it seemed I asked the question because this seems pretty big to win this one on the road to get this thing started off right.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I could pick a game just because, you got to take into account the circumstances of year 3 for Hugh Freeze and the pressure there. Harsin didn't make it to year 3. So, where do you go back to saying it's sort of a defining game for a coach in his tenure to start to turn the tide? I mean, I don't know where you go for that game. It's pretty big, and it's even bigger because you come home, you play 2 games you should win, right? Mercer, South Alabama, and then you go at Oklahoma, at Texas A&M, Georgia at home. If you don't beat Baylor, you are. You're staring at 2 and 4 potentially, and you wouldn't even necessarily be a bad football team if you lost at Baylor and then lost at OU, Texas A&M, and Georgia at home. You could be 2 and 4 and go, we're not even bad. That's a pretty hard stroke. So the Baylor game's big in that regard. It's not a conference game. You still got to have a good conference record, but it's big in that regard too, because if you're 2 and 4 or if you're 2 and 3, the noise going into the Georgia game, and then if you lose that, the noise, the hot seat stuff will be really, really loud. And so the Baylor game, winning that game will relieve that, because then you could be 3-0, and then you got some tough games. Yeah, we get it, but at least you have one big win in your belt as you get into October. So it's kind of big in that regard, because I think those 3 SEC games they start with are going to be really hard to win. I mean, really tough.
I think I do want to hear your thoughts on the basketball team, because it is a new roster, aside from Todd Pettiford. But Hugh Freeze at Media Days, this is my last football question. Hugh Freeze at Media Days said his thoughts are the potential for this roster is limitless. What do you think in the eyes of, the outside eyes, which at the end of the day, outside opinion, how much does it matter? But how many wins do you think that Auburn needs to have for there to be confidence instilled in Hugh Freeze in the eyes of the fan base? What would be considered a success to you?
At least 8. At least 8. That's my floor. And we've talked about this a lot on the show over the summer. That is absolutely my floor. 7-5, I don't think does anything to you're not stepping away from 7-5 and going big step forward this year. I mean, there's no. I don't really see a scenario.
7-5 win over Alabama to get to 7-5.
No, because now, but if you beat Alabama now, who are your other 5 losses if you actually beat Alabama? I mean,
a game you shouldn't lose.
You're losing some games to Missouri or Kentucky or Arkansas or Vanderbilt, or you're just, if you get to 5 losses, even if 2 of them are Georgia, Bama, you got 3 others. I just think 7-5 does nothing for you in terms of thinking you're going in the right direction. 8-4 or better does. I think number one, it's 8-4. It's a better record by 2 games than you've had. But you probably got a pretty good win in there. And you're probably, depends on the Baylor win, but you're at least probably 4-4 in the league. Maybe 5-3. You could lose to Baylor and go 5-3. So I think 8-4 is just where it's at. You've also got this. You've got a pretty good talent. You got a pretty good roster. The other thing I go back to is the schedule. I don't think this has been talked about enough the last 2 years. I mean, I don't know what you could ask for, what more you could ask for if you're Hugh Freeze in year 2 and 3 when you're trying to build a program. Last year and this year, you get Vanderbilt, Missouri, Kentucky, and Arkansas. I mean, if you look at no Tennessee, no Ole Miss, no LSU, no Florida, no Texas. I mean, it's hard to ask for a better schedule. I know Missouri's better, and they're a good team, but and Vanderbilt with Pavia, okay, fine. But if you're a championship program, if you're Hugh Freeze and you're like we're building to win in Atlanta, you can't lose at home to Vanderbilt and go, well, they got Pavia, they're pretty good. Like that can't be where you're at. That cannot be the standard. So you have a schedule last year and this year that it's hard to ask for, I think, anything more in terms of if you're trying to be a program and get to that championship level. So for me, it's 8-4 and 4-4 at worst in the league. I mean, I don't know, the last time they had a winning record in the league was, if you took away COVID, you'd have to go back to like 18 or 17. I mean, just for an SEC winning record. So those are the numbers. Anything below that, I think with the schedule and the talent, just doesn't. It's just another middle of the road, and you're going to have boosters going, is he the answer or not? That can't happen. It needs to be abundantly clear that Hugh Freeze is the answer or that he's not the answer this year. One or the other, not in the middle.
98 days away from basketball. I see your Final Four thing behind you. Ask him the basketball question that's on the top of your mind there. I saw the video.
I mean, I just the
Serbian.
the 3-point shooting video.
He looked good, and he's Serbian. I just assume if you're Serbian, you're going to be good looking.
Yeah, I mean, what have you? Because I believe you've been able to watch them practice, or whatever they're able to do right now a couple times.
Yeah.
What does the team look like? Because we don't know any of these guys.
Yeah, it's a brand new team. I've been a good bit, and Jovic, he came last week. He practiced some, didn't scrimmage. They're kind of giving him a little bit of rest because he was over there training and playing with the under-20 team. So he was playing and going pretty hard. It's an interesting team. Tahad makes a big difference. I was at the very beginning of practice before Tahad, so Tahad took a little time off where he trained a little bit after the combine stuff. He didn't just immediately come back and report. When he finally came back, it's a different team with him, obviously. I think Tahad, I think Keyshawn Hall can do a lot. He's going to be massively important. I think a guy that's going to be really important is Kevin Overton. He's a guy that's got a lot of experience, played Power 4 basketball. He's a leader. He plays good defense. He's aggressive. I think he's going to be more important than you think to the overall team. I think the X factors right now are certainly Jovic, who I think they think a lot of. I could easily see Jovic starting. Elijah Freeman, the development, he's got a high ceiling, but he's coming from D2. So he's still got to get some confidence that you can play on this level and be aggressive. Abdul Bashir missed some time. He's been injured. He's still really skinny. He can shoot, but I haven't seen enough of him to know kind of where he's at. I think there's still some development that's got to happen there. Emeka Oporum, I think, is better than they thought he'd be at this stage, the JUCO center. I think he's not nearly as raw as they thought he'd be, so that's a good sign. So I think they're going to be a team that's got offensive weapons. Obviously, where do they look like defensively? What do they look like defensively? That's always a Bruce Pearl team. They've got to get after it and lock down and play good defense. But with Tahad there, they've got the weapons. I think it's going to take some time. I don't know if this team right off the bat, I can't imagine right off the bat they're where last year's team was. Like when you're playing Arizona and Houston and Purdue and everything they've got in front of them, there's just not – last year's team was different coming into that situation. And so if they can just kind of survive the non-conference, 500-ish, win a couple of those games, I think they would be in good shape. But there's some of these new pieces just got to have time to develop. But when Tahad's leading the charge – he's sort of like Jabari in that way. Everything is elevated when he's on the floor. Like he's better. The team wants to play better with him. Everything he elevates sort of everything just a little bit. But I think there's still a ways to go in terms of what they're going to be. It's all new guys playing with each other. That's a lot to ask. I don't know that I've ever seen a roster where outside of one person, everybody's brand new. That's a lot to ask to try to mesh guys together and get them going. But they've got some weapons to do it. But I still think they need July, August, October getting to practice, September. They still need a good bit of practice, and then there could be some bumps in the non-conference. But I think that'll sort of help sort of sharpen them a little bit.
A lot of new faces that'll try to overcome that one-game losing streak at Neville. Right? They lost the last game at Neville, right?
Dunaway.
They did. And then they made the, what is it? What do they call it? Oh, the Final Four.
Yeah. All right. That's Justin Hokanson, Auburn Live on 3 Sports. The Auburn Sports Show there. We've known him for a long, long time. We appreciate you being with us, Hoke. Always a good conversation, man.
Appreciate it. Mike's on. Mike worked today.
Yeah, it did. It worked out good. Shunnarah Shunnarah Trial Attorneys Hotline there with Justin Hokanson on 3 Sports there. Show also being brought to you by our friends at A+. If you are tired of that old, outdated bathroom or kitchen, call Brad Bell with A+ Tile Home Remodeling. You can see everything Brad has to offer online at alabamabathremodels.com. alabamabathremodels.com. High-quality custom features and lower prices. They helped LT and Brown out a lot. You can call Brad at A+ today, 205-422-1758. That's his cell number, 205-422-1758. They are now serving not just Birmingham, but Huntsville and Mobile too. alabamabathremodels.com. A couple of more notes to get to here. Can you dance? Are you a dancer?
No.
Not a good dancer?
No.
So you can't do this dance move that they have in EA Sports now. Texas scores a touchdown. I think it's Texas, not Tennessee. It's orange jersey. There's celebrations. It was when it came back last year for the players. And I sent this video to Forrester. They got to watch this dance move right here. You can't make your legs do that right now.
That some sort of glitch in the system.
I mean, if you could do that on the dance floor, I mean, you would win any dance off. Just make that. I mean, that is so many ligaments that are gone right there, right?
Everything in your legs is hyperextended at that point. Completely.
I love these videos. My son he writes code and stuff and would love to do code for games. And I asked him, I said, what happened here? And he's like, somebody messed up right there.
There's something wrong.
Yeah, there'll be an update there real quickly. I mean, that's a dance move right there. Hey, congratulations to Mobile, Alabama native Bubba Wallace. He broke a 100 race drought. Now, in NASCAR, the droughts always sound, because there's only one winner every week. There's only so many races a year, but he had gone 100 races without a win. Bubba Wallace wins at the Brickyard, one of their signature moments. You get to kiss the bricks afterwards. He and his team and his wife there beside him. Beck's the baby out there a little bit later on. Kissing the bricks, a historic win, a marquee win for Bubba Wallace, his third at the Cup Series at the highest level. And what many were calling the best burnout this year in NASCAR. Listen, I love a good burnout when they burn those tires, that rubber up afterwards. And I like the way Bubba did it. Not only the circle, but then he takes it down the home stretch here and really flattens those tires out. Heck of a burnout from Bubba Wallace, Alabama racer, winning there for the third time in his Cup years, getting Michael Jordan's team and Denny Hamlin's team into victory lane at the Brickyard there. All right, still to come. We're going to talk some football. I've also got a prop. You love social media.
Yes.
Somebody, and we're going to do this later in the show, probably right before trash, giant social media person and a tape measure. Was great content. I'm going to get you to see if you could do what the big wide receiver, Malik Neighbors, could not do at the New York Giants. We'll see if you can do it a little bit later on.
Okay.
All right? That's right before trash in about 1 hour from now. Big moment on Friday. I want to get to this after I tell you about our friends at Woodhouse Day Spa. Football starts back on Thursday. That means we're going to be watching football a lot, guys. Good time for the wife or girlfriend to get that gift certificate from Woodhouse Day Spa. Right near our studio at the Summit here in Birmingham. But they also have spas in Atlanta, that area, Franklin, Nashville, all over the Southeast. Woodhouse Day Spa, known for its unbelievable treatment, relax, restore, revive, with everything from a massage to facials, nails, waxing. And go ahead and buy that full package for that special someone today. See everything online at woodhousespas.com, woodhousespas.com. Back on Friday night, Nick Kurtz hit not one, not two, not three, but 4 home runs in one game for the A's. And the best part about it, his mom, Marie, and his dad, Jeff, the two closest to him in the center, godparents on the bookends there, were in the stands, row 35, seat 114, seat 115 to see it happen. He's only the 20th player in 150 years of Major League Baseball to hit 150 years, only the 20th player ever to have 4 home runs in a game. He's the first rookie ever to do it. He's only 22. He's the only person in 150 years of Major League Baseball, 6 runs, 6 hits, 8 RBIs in one game. And his mom and dad were there to see it. Does that give you chills?
Yeah. I thought you were about to say that he hit the home runs to that. Like they were the...
Oh, caught them?
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't know where this was going. I was like, okay, this almost seems too good to be true.
That would have been Disney at that point. That they caught one of them or all 4 of them. He hit them right to his mom. That's unbelievable. You had a chance to go to Odie's Fest.
I did.
Over the weekend. One of my favorite groups. It was a yacht rock review. You seem to not be a yacht rock person. Good summer vibe. Do you have a favorite yacht rock song?
I don't think so, but it's good. It was good music. There were 2 different bands that played. So I don't know the name of either of them, but they did a little switch at sundown almost. I don't think that I have a favorite yacht rock song, but the music that they were playing, it was just good, or at least when I was there, because when it started transitioning into night, I was not there anymore, but it was good daytime summer. You're outside.
That's right.
You know, it feels good. The weather feels good.
Yeah.
It was that kind of good music.
Cold beverage, good food.
Right.
Yeah.
Good people. It was packed. Packed.
Always for Odie's Fest. We love those folks there. I think it was 15th. Does that sound right? 15th Odie's Fest, maybe even more than that. Just a great weekend. Congratulations to them, and another great band and party for the fine folks at Odie's, the iconic establishment that makes up the personality of our city here is our friends at Odie's, right there in two great neighborhoods, Crestline Village, Mountain Brook, and also now in the Edgewood location in Homewood. Live music on the weekends, and of course, great food for lunch and dinner today. The perfect spot for a delicious bite to eat or a cocktail after work. It's our friends at Odie's. When we come back, more college football with you on the next round.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter at scottforestertv.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, company truck accident, car accident, or work-related accident? Call Alabama's largest personal injury firm. Alexander Shunnarah trial attorneys will fight for every dollar you deserve, and it won't cost you a dime. Trust me. What do you say, man?
Call me, Alabama.
Call 659-777-7777 or go to Shunnarah.com.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
If you're looking to expand business and inform the Next Round audience about your exciting brand, contact us. Send an email to sales@nextroundlive.com to be a part of the team and advertise your product to hundreds of thousands of potential customers on our ever-expanding platform. Join our existing partners in the fastest-growing media space, both live and on demand, and reach the most desirable audience for your business. Get information and more by emailing sales@nextroundlive.com, and one of our team members will work with you to take your business to the next level with the Next Round.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
It's time to pull the trigger on the Next Round merch that you've been eyeing. We know there's a lot to choose from at nextround.store, so here's a few of our favorite picks. If you want to match LT and Brown, go with the TNR logo hoodie and throw in one of Dunaway's favorite hats. Any of them will do. The Backroom's go-to is the classic logo t-shirt, while my personal favorite is the light blue TNR crew neck. All of these items can be found at nextround.store and are EG approved. Rest assured, your order will be packed with lots of love from us here at the Next Round. Head over to nextround.store to start filling up your cart.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you.
Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Back with you on the next round. I moved a little stuff over the weekend. Daughter's moving into a new house. Moved a dryer, washer dryer. Just remembered that I borrowed the hand truck. Is that what it's called? Hand truck
Dolly,
from here?
I think.
Yeah, the dolly.
Yeah, or dolly.
I left it at home. Didn't bring it back. Hope nobody needs it up here. Tyler, you don't need it for anything today, do you?
I needed it today, actually, like right now.
I'm so sorry, Tyler. I left it at home. By the way, moving the dryer and the washer, when you're not the manliest person in the room and you're the only man, it's not good. I'm asking my wife, so how do you use one of these things now? What do you do with this?
Oh, no, don't worry.
Yeah, it was not the smoothest operation in the world there, but excited for her move there. So fun weekend. Everyone's killing you in the chat room about the great weather. I'm with you. I like it when it's hot. I don't like cold weather. I mean, yeah, if it's 80 is better than 98 with humidity, but I sort of like the heat. I like 98 and humidity. I don't mind sweating. I like summertime.
I wasn't miserably hot on Saturday, though. I mean, during the day, like the middle of the day, yeah, it was blistering, but late afternoon, early evening, I wasn't miserable outside. I mean, but if I was given the option, I would always prefer the heat.
Yeah, me too.
Over cold.
All the time. What about you, Tyler? You a cold person?
Cold.
Like my daughter and
Really?
wife love the fall and winter.
I love the cold. I would prefer it to be like between 30 to 50 degrees year round.
Yeah. My son's the same way, and I tell him, you can move your ass to the north if you don't like the heat. I like the heat. Forrester, you got a pool that you never get into, rarely get into. Do you like the summer or do you like cold?
Never is not accurate, but rarely is. That's spot on.
You got a lot going on, Forrester.
I do. We're not home a whole lot, but yeah, 30's too cold. But I'm definitely, I prefer the colder end of the spectrum. Give me a solid 60, 70. Yeah, over 98 any day.
Okay, let's get to the Bojangles tender moment of the day. And it's going to be something I really don't like, but I'm all about getting things right for people in their life. So I'll tell you what it is after I remind you that our friends at Bojangles, they have those hand-breaded tenders with all the great sauces. And don't forget, you can get those with great dipping sauces right now. The Bowberry cookies, they've got those. The hand-breaded tenders with your favorite sauce. It's bow time right now with our friends at Bojangles, the tender moment of the day. And we did this with Marcel Darius. What did we call him when he was at Alabama, Forrester? Do you remember? We got his name wrong his entire time at Alabama.
I don't remember. Did it start out Darius or Darius?
Marcel. Was it Marcel? Am I getting even Marcel right? Because I'm saying it correct now, right? It's Marcel Darius, right? And I think we may have called him Marcel Darius.
I don't remember which one. I don't know which one's right.
Well, hell, we've been pronouncing Bijan Robinson's name wrong, he says, over the weekend. I mean, you played all that time at Texas and 1 year with the Falcons, and now you're going to tell us we were getting it wrong? It's not Bijan. It's Bajan, he says.
Bajan. Was he asked, or did he just come out and say, hey, guys, by the way?
The NFL Network host probably knew. They probably talked about it, or there was a release or something, and he set him up to say your name correctly. And he was basically Bajan Robinson, not Bijan, like my little southern butt says, Bijan Robinson.
Yeah, but I think that's how everyone said it.
Yeah.
Don't blame it on the South.
Yeah, Darius and Darius. Dylan is right. That's right. I got it backwards. So Bajan and Darius.
I'm still calling him Bijan.
Finally got it right. You still going Bijan?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Got it right. That's our tender moment of the day, brought to you by our friends at Bojangles. I want you to hear from Dabo Swinney, ACC Media Days, cut number 5, Tyler, on what it's like having Bill Belichick in college coaching and in the ACC. Before you play Dabo, what did you not hear a lot of at ACC Media Days last week when it came to Belichick? Less about Jordan, wasn't it?
Yes. But I saw, is it a net, or I don't know if it's Netflix, but I did see an announcement that they're doing some sort of special or series on North Carolina.
Maybe Hulu, Netflix.
Yeah,
but
it might have been Hulu. That sounds right. But no, she has kind of drifted away from the spotlight, it seems.
And don't you feel like that's been good for his image, that he was able to get there and talk football?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was probably a breath of fresh air for him, too, because I'm sure he got sick of talking about it.
I don't know what Belichick in North Carolina is going to be this year, but Dabo Swinney has a thought about having one of the, if not the greatest NFL coach now in college football. Here's Dabo.
But it was awesome. I really enjoyed it. I mean, there was more than one occasion that I went, yep, that's Bill Belichick right there. Right here in the ACC head coaches meetings. It's like the most 20 thing ever. But it's been great because, it's how often would a coach get a chance to be, with a coach like Bill Belichick? Most of the time you'd have to be in the NFL and then all of a sudden he's in your ACC coaches meetings, and so it's provided opportunity to get to know him differently in hours of meetings in May, and then casual chit chat opportunities like this where you get a chance to see him, and now certainly get a chance to play him. I just think he's a very interesting guy. I love to talk to him, so I saw him smile several times today. I don't know if y'all met with him yet or not, but how's it been? Is he giving y'all more than we're on to camp? I don't know. Has it been? Oh, well, I anticipate that. Next question. I don't know. Start camp next week. On to camp.
Yeah, Dabo Swinney having fun. Looking forward to seeing the Belichick experience. I gave you one right there in Clemson. And give me the chat room back up, too, on the big screen, because I want to see the viewers come in here. College football playoffs era started in 2014. Just give me a number, first off. Of all the college football teams, how many teams since 2014 do you think have been ranked number 1 either in the AP poll or the college football playoff rankings since 2014?
Is this to end the season or just at any point throughout?
At any point throughout, ranked number 1. How many different teams have been ranked number 1 since 2014 in either the AP poll or the college football playoff rankings?
Give me a lucky guess of 11.
It's 11 on the nose. 11. Only 11.
Which is crazy.
That seems like a low number.
It seems way too low.
You nailed it. Morgan went with 6, which is even much lower. So I gave you Clemson as 1. Okay? So give me another one. Help out in the chat room, too. Help her out in the chat room.
Let's start
We got
local.
the graphic up now. Okay, graphic's up.
Let's start nearby. Alabama.
Alabama's 1 as well.
Georgia did it as well. Last year's national champion. Ohio State,
Michigan, okay.
And then did you already write down Clemson? Did you already get there?
I gave you Clemson. It's going to get a little tougher now.
Okay, let's see.
Another national champion you've left out, 2019. LSU. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5
How
left.
Many is that?
Five left. No national champions in this group.
No national
5.
champions. Okay.
By the way, 6, to Morgan's point, are the ones that won the national championship.
Okay.
That's why he came with the number 6.
Yeah, so he got half the answer right.
Yeah.
Wait, I still feel like 11.
11 is low. Yeah.
So how many, in terms of how many weeks? Think about how many weeks the AP poll is released, or the playoff rankings.
It's a lot.
Through 11 years.
15, 16 times. Yeah.
Times since 2014.
Yep. So that's a lot. Just 11 teams.
Let's see. Okay, so we have Clemson, Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, LSU.
Correct.
SEC, Big Ten heavy.
They're all, the rest of them, just like that. Nope. There's an ACC.
Florida State.
Florida State at one point was number 1 during that time.
Okay, so now we're done with the ACC, right?
We are done with the ACC. 4 more left. 1 now in the Big Ten. 3 all in the SEC.
Not Auburn.
Not Auburn. Auburn's highest ranking during this time has been 2.
Really?
Yep. Number 2.
Okay. Michigan, Keith, we got Michigan.
Yep.
Mississippi State?
Yeah, C. Murder and a bunch of people over there, Mississippi State. Mississippi State
that is wild and a great trivia question because I don't think anyone that would not be a team to come to someone's mind early.
Mississippi State's the one you'll catch everybody on unless you lived it. But Mississippi State was number 1 for a moment.
Okay, I see the Morgan was Texas, but isn't there? Am I thinking of the wrong team, or was this something that y'all talked about last week that Texas has never been? Or stop me if I'm wrong before I finish the sentence. But that who had never been? Was it Texas that had never been ranked number 1 in the? It was a tweet that you. I think you may have brought it up. I can't remember who sent it out, but you were like because it started, believe it or not.
I can't remember that. Texas has been number 1. Tennessee has been number 1 during that time, and Oregon has been number 1
Oregon.
Hey, I think what you're talking about, Texas has never been the AP preseason number 1.
Okay, yeah. Okay. I think it was Brandon Marcel or something said, believe it or not, Texas, and I was like, but was it Texas? I couldn't remember. Okay, yeah. So I had it half correct.
But could be this year. Texas could be your preseason number 1 team. Let's see the graphic now because it shows everybody's highest ranking. This is from College Football Kings, at College Football Kings, one of those great graphics that I know Taylor loves and respects as she does social media. Notre Dame hasn't been number 1. They've been number 2. Miami's been number 2. TCU's been 2. Baylor, Cincinnati, Washington, Iowa, Auburn, Oklahoma, Penn State, Michigan State all have been 2, but not number 1. That's still a small group, relatively speaking, but only 11 different teams have been number 1 since 2014. Such a small group. Florida's been as high as number 3 during that time. USC's only been as high as number 3. Ole Miss has been number 3, but I think that was under Hugh Freeze, not Lane Kiffin. A&M has been up to number 4 out of the SEC. Missouri's been as high as number 6, which is surprising to some. Kentucky's been as high as number 7 during that time, very much in a national championship conversation. Arkansas has been as high as number 8. South Carolina's been as high as number 9. Is that it for the SEC? Is there any more?
Vandy, 24.
Oh, Vandy, yeah. Vandy in there at 24. So
that is just wild.
Rutgers is the only team not to have been ranked.
Maybe this year.
Isn't that a crazy graphic?
That is a crazy graphic. It's very interesting because you would think that the number would be a lot higher than 11.
Another crazy number for you. I'm Brian Kelly after I remind you that our friends at Breakline will help you look great for the rest of this summer and into football season. Time to look great with Breakline. Great looking sunglasses that are light and durable. The lenses are made of molded, polarized Trivex. They're Trivex lenses. That makes them unbeatable. See them for yourselves right now at Deep South Outfitters right here in Birmingham, and you can order from anywhere in the world. BreaklineOptics.com, BreaklineOptics.com, and also our friends at Gutter Cap. Stay off the ladder and get your gutters cleaned one last time by the professionals at Gutter Cap Birmingham. Chris Stewart and his crew will come out, clean out those gutters, and then cap them. You'll never have to worry about them again. This will add value to your home and prevent a big pain in the butt every fall. And fall's coming quick, so call C. Stu today for the free evaluation. GutterCapBirmingham.com. GutterCapBirmingham.com. Unbeatable protection, long-lasting durability, and a lifetime warranty. GutterCapBirmingham.com. Clint Lamb joins us at the top of the hour to talk Alabama football. But Brian Kelly, Taylor, catching a lot of shade this offseason. I want you to tell me your thoughts on Brian Kelly after you take a look at the Brian Kelly resume, if you will. This is from College Football Watcher. He is throwing all sorts of fire at Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly gets to Notre Dame in 2010. Major bowl wins from 2010 to 2011. His time at Notre Dame, 0 for Notre Dame. LSU during that time won 4. Brian Kelly gets to LSU in 2021. Major bowl wins from 2022 to 2024. Notre Dame gets 3. LSU gets 0. Brian Kelly shade. What's your thoughts on BK?
I mean, that right there is not something that you want on your resume.
That's not good PR.
I mean, okay, he needs to start by winning a season opener at LSU.
Boy, that's big. And they get a tough one with Clemson, but you're dead on there.
Right, and this is not a great year to try and overcome what has been 5 years since a victory in their season opener. And now you get a Clemson team that a lot of people have very high expectations for. So not great, but it's crazy because he's won a lot of games. But it's the conversation that y'all have with a number of different coaches. They're not the games that matter at the end of the day because none of these will go down in a record book of SEC or they won the West in 22. Or was that his first season there, I believe?
Yep. The last year we had a division. Yeah.
Right. But then since then, it's just been, you'll have a couple big wins in the season, but that fan base is looking for a playoff game.
They had national champions with Saban and with Miles and Orgeron. Spot on right there on just the importance of that first game. On the road, LSU Clemson opening weekend. Spotlight time. Brought to you by Alexander Shunnarah. No need to hit the open. You don't have to do that. Alexander Shunnarah's mission, create a firm that could handle any issue his community face. He did that. Not just personal injury, but claims for fire and storm damages, bad drug and device claims, disability, workers' comp, and so much more. If you find yourself in need of a lawyer, call Alexander Shunnarah. You pay nothing unless they win your case. Nick Saban on Friday was asked 3 different times by Fox if he was going to coach again. His answer, I mean, it wasn't an absolute no, but his answer was there's nothing really out there. He used the word enhance, I think entice him, nothing out there that really interests him right now. You think Nick Saban ever coaches again?
No, I don't, because the landscape of college football now is something that I believe he said himself, but something that doesn't really intrigue him. I don't think that he's one to want to sit down and have a conversation about how much, a kid's getting paid or I'm going to leave if, how much playing time can you promise me?
I know you're paying me 1.5, but so-and-so school can pay me 1.8.
Right. I don't see him having negotiations. And that was the talk when he announced his retirement. Hey, he probably isn't, having a great time dealing with all of this in the new landscape of college athletics, and that's not going to change.
Yeah.
So if that's what, started to drive him away from coaching to begin with, I don't know unless it gets to a point where everything's very regulated and it's not as chaotic as it is right now, which will that ever happen? Who knows? I don't see it changing back to what it once was. It's not going to.
But the NFL hasn't changed.
Correct.
And that's why I think he leaves the door open. When he could have said, they asked him 3 times. If you saw the interview on Fox, they kept rolling back.
Yeah.
They kept rolling back to,
are you sure?
You sure? You sure you're not going to coach again? Daniel's right. Kristen, his daughter, said no way. If he ever did it, it would be the NFL to me. But I don't think he does it. I think he loves the business thing he's doing. I think he's loving the golf. He's loving the grandkids. I don't know how much he's loving ESPN, but
he does a good job.
He does a heck of a job of doing it right there. So that's our spotlight today. When we come back, we turn to Alabama football. The dynasty Nick Saban built and Kalen DeBoer wants to take to a new level this year. Clint Lamb joins us. Coming up on the other side, brought to you by our friends at Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Back in a moment.
Everything Next Round is on demand now in the podcast section at nextroundlive.com.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, company truck accident, car accident, or work-related accident? Call Alabama's largest personal injury firm. Alexander Shunnarah trial attorneys will fight for every dollar you deserve, and it won't cost you a dime. Trust me. What do you say, man?
Call me, Alabama.
Call 659-777-7777 or go to Shunnarah.com.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemphill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemphill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemphill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemphill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
The World Wide Web is a large place. Find all your favorite people and content in the same spot. NextRoundLive.com is full of wonderful tidbits about the show you know and love. Find our gear, listen to your favorite personalities, follow our socials, and enjoy your trip to NextRoundLive.com.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Do you need some refreshed college wear to represent your team this year? Shop Roback's Game Day collection that includes both Alabama and Auburn. From quarter zips to hoodies, Roback has it all. Get 20% off on us using code TNR20 at roback.com.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
All right, Auburn fans, I want you to become a member of thebarnauburn.com and join in on the fun. Whether it's recruiting discussions, off-season chatter, or the latest Auburn athletics news, we've got it all. Get $25 off your annual subscription when you sign up for your account at thebarnauburn.com today. War Eagle.
Take TNR on the go with a podcast built for your satisfaction. Miss Hour 1? Find it in podcast form. Miss Hour 2? Stream it now. Miss Hour 3? Download it for later. Miss Hour 4? Well, just know it's never coming back. Listen to TNR wherever you find podcasts.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios. The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
All right, final hour of the show. We're about to talk some Bama football with the one and only Clint Lamb, but this hour always brought to you by Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Serling and his family have been at that same location for over a decade, giving you a taste of that Delta magic. Not only is Champy's perfect for all your tailgating this football season, you can choose Champy's for your next party, your wedding, your birthday, doesn't matter. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Great people is Clint Lamb. Cover Crimson, A to Z Sports, all over the place talking Alabama. He's with us now on the Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorney Hotline. Clint, welcome back to the show, man. It's camp week. I mean, you got to get a little excited about camp week, right? Get the players back together again.
Yeah, this feels a little like Christmas. Alabama's set to get underway on Wednesday, and we're actually going to be getting some, I wouldn't say open practices, but some media viewing periods where we'll actually be able to get our own eyes on it, observe a couple of periods. And so, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to get started.
There was a lot of, I guess, questioning around would Kalen DeBoer be able to recruit after he took the job last season. Alabama has been on a historic recruiting tear over the past couple weeks. Were you expecting that? Were you surprised by that? Do you expect things to slow down? Where are you on the recruiting trail with Alabama?
You know, he's a relationship builder. You know, he's been that everywhere he's been. His coaching staff, that's kind of a priority for him. Not only does he build relationships with those guys, but they have to have the ability to do that as well. So, you know, I'm not surprised. A lot of people, when he was first hired, they wondered, okay, how is this guy going to come into the South and be able to recruit Georgia or Alabama or, you know, Mississippi or Louisiana? You know, that's not really an area where he had needed to target at previous stops. But anytime someone's able to establish those relationships and establish that trust with parents, you know, I think that you're going to be successful because I think, don't get me wrong, he's got, you know, a healthy NIL backing. He's certainly not outbidding for players. That's just not how Alabama wants to operate or is going to operate. But they, you know, I think it's a combination of they're in a respectable place as far as some of the NIL offers, and there's trust and there's development. So I think with that combination that's made him successful, I wasn't shocked at all at the run that they went on, and I fully expect that to continue. Now, do I think that they're going to finish with the number 1 or number 2 recruiting class? Probably not, just how they're setting the class up. But I do think that they are not only targeting the guys at the top of their board that they really want, the must-haves, and they're doing a good job of closing on those guys, but they're also doing a really good job of evaluating some of the lower-rated guys, combining that where you're putting together an overall really respectable recruiting class. So love their approach and definitely think they'll keep it going.
As we do this, the Maxwell Award watch list is out with Ryan Williams on it. Wasn't always a smooth connection between quarterback and star wide receiver. We all remember the Georgia moment, but near the end of the year, there were a lot of misses there. Give me the mindset you think of Ryan Williams with a different quarterback and now Ryan Grubb calling plays. I think a lot of people, I know it's hard to say this because his name was mentioned so much last year, Clint, but I think a lot of people are thinking this is going to be sort of a breakout year for Ryan Williams.
And I would agree to a certain extent. You know, he cooled off a lot last year. Now, some of that's through his own play. You know, he kind of hit that freshman wall a little bit. He had some focus drops. You know, there are still nuances of playing the position at a really high level that he's still learning. But at the same time, what he provided Alabama's offense as a 17-year-old last year was nothing short of incredible. Fully expect him to continue to improve. And I think that the quarterback play and the way that it sets up, like the way that Ty Simpson wins, one of the things that I think is special about him is ball placement. He puts the ball in a position where his playmakers can make plays after the catch. And Ryan Williams, he makes the acrobatic catches down the sidelines. He can do all of those things for you, but he also has the ability to create yardage after the catch. And so that combination, I think, is going to set up well for him. I think it's going to set up well for Jeremy Bernard. You know, a lot of Alabama's receivers that they have the ability to do that. Jalen Milroe was a good quarterback last year. And when he was on, he was certainly on. And the vertical ball, when it was on, he was one of the most lethal vertical ball throwers in the country. But I don't think there was enough consistency there as far as the short to intermediate routes. And even when there was completions, the ball wasn't always put in a place where they could create yardage after the catch. So I think between, you know, what Ty Simpson brings to the table from an accuracy and ball placement standpoint on top of what Alabama's expecting to have at wide receiver, not just Ryan Williams, but other guys, I think that room is going to take a massive step forward and definitely be one of the better wide receiver rooms in college football.
Like you said, Jalen Milroe at times looked like the best quarterback in the country last season, but consistency was an issue. Do you expect to see a more consistent product from the quarterback position with Ty Simpson?
I do, and it's not just Jalen Milroe. I think the coaching staff, Nick Sheridan in particular, wasn't always comfortable calling things to Jalen Milroe's strengths, like, where he wanted to live as a play caller versus what Jalen Milroe did well, it didn't always mesh. And so I think that created some uncomfortable situations, lack of early down success, and now you're in an unfavorable situation. Your quarterback's really not set up for 3rd and long. Your tackles weren't set up for 3rd and long. Like, your entire offense it's all about staying on schedule, and they didn't do that well enough last year. I think having a more consistent passing game at all 3 levels is what Kalen DeBoer and Ryan Grubb want. They still want to test you vertically, and they're certainly going to throw the ball downfield. That's a huge element of the offense. But they want more consistency in the short to intermediate areas where they can open up things for the run game, and all of it can kind of work in unison. We just didn't see that enough last year, at least consistently enough last year, and I think that's going to make a massive difference. It's not that Jalen Milroe doesn't have a ton of talent. He absolutely does. I think he's doing phenomenal for the Seattle Seahawks in training camp so far. But I just think with what Kalen DeBoer and Ryan Grubb want primarily out of the quarterback position, they're going to get more of that with Ty Simpson than they did with Jalen Milroe. And I think that's going to make for a better play caller quarterback marriage in 2025.
Boy, LT Overton made an impact a lot last year. And he's another one of those guys that it's hard to say breakout year, but boy, the offseason buzz about this guy is just through the roof. What does LT Overton do well? What do you like about his game when you're breaking down the tape?
First of all, stops the run extremely well. He's a big body guy, and playing him out there as that, bandit defensive end, that strong side field defensive end, has the ability to set the edge and stop the run. But I think his ability to be a transitional pass rusher, meaning when it's an early down and they end up throwing the football, you got to switch from being a run defender to a pass rusher quickly. He can be a good on-body rusher where he can transition and still affect the quarterback. He just didn't do a good enough job last year of finishing plays. Like, he had 39 total pressures. That was a very respectable number. But as far as, only having 2 sacks based off of that, that doesn't connect. Typically, guys who are getting 35 to 40 pressures, they're sitting anywhere from 6, 7, 8, or maybe even 9 sacks. And so him only having 2, he's got to do a better job of finishing. But, he has all of the tools to be successful. He's dropped a little bit of weight. Think that's going to allow him to be a little bit more explosive. But he also has some versatility. You can do some different things as far as moving him inside. You might see some packages or some situations where you get multiple bandits on the field because LT Overton has the ability to kick inside and play some tackle, a 3-tech over the guard or something like that. And so I think between the versatility and the overall talent, certainly has the potential to be one of the better defensive players in all of college football, certainly has day one NFL talent. He's just got to do a better job of finishing and kind of putting it all together, but he is certainly a special talent. But Alabama also needs to do a better job of getting some complementary pieces to that at least can be there consistently. They had a lot of issues at the Wolf with injuries and departures in the middle of the season. So, I mean, it's not just LT Overton, but if they could get what they need to out of him and then get some complementary pieces, I think the pass rush can be much improved for sure.
We touched on this a little bit earlier, but PFF has been rolling out their, preseason rankings, and Alabama is the only team in the country that has a top 10 player at every defensive position. What do you expect to see from Alabama's defense as a whole entering the season?
Yeah, I think they got a really good combination of, they got great guys at the top. They got NFL talent. They got experience, but they did a really good job of kind of filling some of the holes. Like when you go and get a Cam Calhoun to potentially be your cornerback 3 or cornerback 4, then you go get a Dijon Lee who's proving, like he's going to be a guy who's ready to contribute pretty much from day one. He's going to be a guy who's battling at that position too. You've gone from having, probably the best cornerback duo or one of the best cornerback duos in all of college football to you've now added depth to that where you can sustain, if injuries happen, you can maintain a high level of play. I think they've done that, especially in the secondary, but I think at linebacker, assuming Deontay Lawson's able to return to form, you've got him, you've got Nakai Hill-Green, you've got Justin Jefferson, 3 veteran players. They've played a lot of football, seen a lot of snaps. That should certainly help on that level. And then when you start talking about the guys up front, I think adding a guy like Kelby Collins from Florida has the ability to play bandit, has the ability to play inside, so he can provide depth at both positions, can make an impact in a variety of ways. So I really like what they've done on that side of the football, and I love the continuity factor as far as, Kane Womack sticking around, and they have pretty much the entire, coaching staff from a year ago outside of Colin Hitchler. I think that continuity and just the depth and the talent, it's going to make for one of the best defenses in college football.
Okay, so you look at it differently than I do. I'm a left side artistic brain guy. Football. I'm just a fan. Camp's opening up. I've asked you some questions. Taylor's asked you some questions. But you tell me, what are you looking for? What are you going to be watching in this camp? What has to get better? What question do you need answered before they play that first game down in Tallahassee?
I think Ty Simpson's done everything that he possibly can up to this point to win Alabama's starting quarterback job. But I want to see him continue to press and actually step up. A couple of years ago, one of the big problems was, Nick Saban kept wanting someone to step up and take the starting job. And it just felt like that even leading into the beginning of the season, just nobody would. I would like to see him continue to kind of progress and show those qualities and actually earn the starting job rather than just being named because that's the best option they have, once the season opener rolls around. I'm going to be looking at the offensive line depth. We heard good things about Olasolinen and his development once he kicked out to tackle. He's more of an inside build, probably is going to end up there long term, but they really need some tackle depth to make you feel really good about the offensive line. Like the starters, I think, are good and can end up being one of the better units, offensive line units in college football, but the depth at tackle in particular is somewhat concerning. I'll keep an eye on Olasolinen, on Jackson Lloyd, Arkell Nugum, the transfer from Ball State. That's another one who has a lot of raw ability, but how is he progressing as far as the development? I'll be keeping an eye on that. And then there are a couple of guys, so it's like, okay, I like Alabama's running back room. I really do. But Daniel Hill, the more I've heard about him and the more I've watched him and just the fact that he's this big-bodied, powerful guy who's actually a very underrated receiver, can really provide some consistency as far as your run game and just consistently churning out 4 or 5 yards and keeping you on schedule as far as what you can call offensively. I just want to see, kind of where is he fitting into the pecking order, because right now I would probably project him in that RB3 role behind Rich Young and Jam Miller, but I also wouldn't be shocked at all if he ends up pushing for RB2 or maybe even RB1 before it's all said and done. I'm not going to predict that, but I just want to see how he's coming along and where he fits in, because I think he could really help this Alabama offense as far as staying on schedule in 2025. And then guys like Rico Scott, how he's progressing at wide receiver, where is Latsier Brooks fitting into the mix offensively? What's the health of Deontay Lawson? Like, we don't know for sure. We know he's probably not going to be 100% as fall camp gets underway. He's probably going to have to split some of those reps. He's acknowledged that, but just how close to 100% is he? And is it a situation where Alabama is going into that Florida State game where he's working in more of a platoon role rather than being kind of a full-time starter? And how does that affect Alabama's defense? From a talent standpoint, I don't think it affects it a ton, even though I think he's one of the better linebackers in college football. It's more of the field general, him being that guy for you on defense. Now you don't have Jahad Campbell and Malachi Moore and some of the guys that stepped up when he went down last year as far as handling those responsibilities. Who's going to be that for Alabama this year? So that's just a couple of things I'm looking out for, but there's certainly a lot to talk about with this team.
What's your expectation for this team? What do you think their ceiling is? Everyone is talking about, there would be no surprise if Alabama was in the college football playoff, but do you think their ceiling is a national championship? Do you expect them to be a national championship contender when the end of the season rolls around?
I absolutely do. You look at the qualities. A lot of people have made the comparisons to last year's Ohio State, where you had guys who could have went to the NFL. They ended up not having as many draft picks because of that, because guys elected to come back. The buy-in post-spring as far as no guys entering the transfer portal, the continuity with the coaching staff. You even keep your offensive coordinator from last year in Nick Sheridan, but you also add a phenomenal offensive mind, one of the better college football play callers, in my opinion, in Ryan Grubb. Like, how often does that happen where you add someone of that caliber, but yet you maintain the guy that you had last year, where the quarterbacks continue to feel comfortable and there's continuity? You talk about all of the elements as far as putting a quarterback in a position to be successful. I think the offensive line's going to be good. I think they've upgraded in a major way at wide receiver. Running back room is certainly good enough. Complementary defense, both coordinators back. I think there's a lot working in Alabama's favor. A lot will depend on how the quarterback does. But I think with all those other circumstances, I wouldn't be shocked at all if Ty Simpson was one of the better quarterbacks in college football and Alabama was one of the better teams in college football and pushed for a national title. We'll obviously have to see it, but just everything on paper looks really good right now.
All right. He's Clint Lamb. You can get him at Cover Crimson. When's the next live show? We don't do enough of that on here telling people when the next live show is. When's the next live show over at covercrimson.com?
Yeah, we're going to be going live with fall camp getting underway on Wednesday. We'll be going live to kind of talk about some of the things that I see in the open portions of practice. But we'll also have a show coming out here in just a little bit, and Mick and I are about to record. We'll be answering some mailbag questions that fans have for fall camp, and then we'll kind of get into it on Wednesday.
All right. Well, it's just Taylor and me here all week long, so if you have any extra mailbag questions you don't answer, send us the questions and the answers so we can answer them on the air too. Clint Lamb.
I love it.
Clint Lamb, covercrimson.com over there, and he and Mick with the show dropping a little bit later on. Thanks for being with us, buddy. We appreciate you. We appreciate Dr. B as well, 2 decades of service in Birmingham for Dr. Michael Beckenstein. We talk hair restoration for Lance and Ryan all the time, but Dr. B also handles a variety of treatments, and you can see them all and set up a consultation at his website, msbmd.com, msbmd.com. Let's talk about that hair loss, though. It was too late for me when I first met Dr. B, but he saved Lance from going bald, and he can do it for you, too. Several treatments tailored to your needs, including that laser treatment that he's helping Brown out with as well. Check it out with Dr. B on his website, msbmd.com, msmb.com, our buddy Dr. B there. I've had a couple people send me questions in the chat room and also DM me some questions. One of them was a very interesting scheduling question from Chip. He wrote in pre-show, and he says, my crew's been thinking about going to a different SEC game during Alabama's bye weeks this year to get a different game day experience. What game should we go to? Same hypothetical question for Auburn fans as well. But Chip and his boys, when Alabama's not playing, is going to go to a different SEC game. Forster, can I get an Alabama schedule here? This can be hard to do on the fly here. Bye weeks there. There's one.
So we're looking at September 20th.
September 20th. And then one right before LSU always.
Yeah, November 1st.
Yeah, November 1st and September 20th. Now we'll need the SEC schedule, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Is there a road game that you're most excited to go to? I don't know if it's I'm going to pull up the SEC schedule to help Chip with his question. But tell me about, most of the college football games I've gone to in my life have been Alabama or Auburn games on the road. What about you? What game would you like to go to on the road this year?
I think the way that I look at this is more so storylines for this particular season and not necessarily, the venue, go for the venue alone. I think for Auburn and one for Alabama, I think that Auburn at Oklahoma will be interesting because obviously the whole Jackson Arnold storyline, that will be an emotional game for both fan bases really, but that'll mean a little more for Oklahoma fans because that was their quarterback last year. He left,
By the way, it fits for Chip. That's Alabama's bye week, so okay. Auburn at Oklahoma is a good answer for Chip. Yeah, maybe the best game that day.
And then I don't necessarily think the game's going to be great, but just because of the conversations that have been had this offseason, I think that Alabama at Florida State to open the year, which this does not fit for Chip because he's trying to go to different.
He'll be there.
Teams,
He'll be at that one. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think that's just because I think that Alabama is going to run Florida State out of the stadium, but because of the comments made by Thomas Castellanos this offseason, I just think that it will be a very interesting vibe in that stadium if things get ugly.
To answer your question, though, Chip, Auburn at Oklahoma, absolutely the best on Alabama's first bye week if you want to go experience a new stadium in the SEC. That's a good one.
Hey, I've got a suggestion for the second bye week.
Okay, I'm just getting there to that one, Forrester. Okay, go ahead. Give me that suggestion.
Go to the cocktail party.
Oh, yeah.
Has anybody ever been to the cocktail party?
I have not.
Nope.
Me either.
But it would be fun.
Georgia,
a fun
Florida.
game to go to, I think.
Yeah. It's not really great on television usually.
I put it in the chat, but I think the Ireland game would be fun.
Yeah, well, I mean, you kill a lot of birds with a lot of stones right there. Yeah.
Would you go to the game?
Yeah, I'd go to the game, but I'd also want to explore.
Yeah.
But the second, Oklahoma at Tennessee, but you've probably been to Neyland Stadium. You get a little South Carolina Ole Miss for that one too, but probably the cocktail party. Be a heck of a game this year. Chip, that was a great question, man. Thanks for jumping in the chat room and passing that on to us. Our friends at Hemp Hill Services is there to help you out for all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. They are a trained dealer, and they have financing available for you. And I love the fact, I mean, listen to what I'm about to tell you. I love the fact that you can call Hemp Hill 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They have an emergency service that is crucial. I mean, if you got a plumbing problem, I don't know, if you get back from SEC media days and you got water leaking in your bathroom and it's flooding hitting your walls and stuff, you need them immediately, and they can do that. 205-229-2090. Or schedule an appointment when the normal service is happening, hemphillservices.com. They are fast. They can diagnose any problem, and they can repair it almost always in the same day. Great guys that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. Hemphillservices.com, hemphillservices.com. You've been to Baton Rouge, right, when you were a student? Y'all did a road trip?
Yes, we did.
What other road games? Was that the only road game you did?
I've traveled for bowl games, but that was, by friends. If they're going to invest time and money to traveling, it's probably not going to be for a road football game.
Right.
But I went to the LSU game in 2017. No, 20. I'm so screwed up.
Yeah, but one of your years in college when they were on the road.
Yes. And that LSU, everyone knows that that's going to be a fun environment. Last football season, when we went to the Alabama Tennessee game, that was my first time in Knoxville, and I thought that was good. Think? I thought it was a good. The water, it's just a cool layout. It's different. It's unique. But
underrated game day experience, I think. I mean, some people love Neyland, some people hate Neyland. Doesn't get mentioned as quick as Baton Rouge does, but I think it's a really underrated game day experience.
What's different? Where else do you get what you get there?
Yeah,
in terms of the I can't remember what it's called.
The Tennessee River?
No, they call the boat something.
Oh, the Vol Navy.
Yes,
the Vol Navy.
Yes, not the event or whatever. The gathering. But yeah. I liked Knoxville. I have a good friend of mine from high school, grew up a Tennessee fan, and he and his family travel to a lot of the games when they can, and he's always loved it. I had never been, but after that I was like, I get it. I get why you like it. It's a cool place.
I do. I like Baton Rouge. I like Knoxville. I went to both of those places last year. Always good. Shamar Stewart, Texas A&M first-round draft pick, finally signed with the Bengals. Got his full guaranteed $8.97 million. He did get a $10.4 million signing bonus. He did sign off on some of the new language Cincinnati was trying to put in there, but he is now going to report to camp. He is good to go. And listen, Lance is scared of AI. He talks about it a lot, right? He thinks it's going to be the end of the world.
Right.
AI predicted the final win total for all of the NFL teams. Has the Eagles, the Packers, the 49ers, and the Falcons winning their division this year. Has the Falcons going 10-7. Forrester, do you like AI now?
Yeah. Especially if it likes my Falcons, then I love AI.
Yeah. Buffalo, Baltimore, Houston, and Kansas City winning the divisions over in the AFC. If you want to go to the windows and bet with the fine folks there at AI, the AI folks that are throwing it out there. I don't even know how to talk about it. All right, when we come back, can Little T do better than Giants wide receiver Malik Neighbors at a task? Okay, it was a task that he was asked to do by their social media person. So we'll put our social media person to test, and we'll do trash and put a wrap on this show. Again, Brown and LT off this week. Much deserved vacation time. They've been killing it here in 2025. They got the week off. Little tease here. EG joins us from campus with opening of camps tomorrow in Tuscaloosa, Wednesday down in Auburn. Looking forward to football being back in 26 days. This show being brought to you by our friends at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken. Man, we had some good hand-cut chicken fingers on Friday when Sterling came by for show number 1,000. You can get those, the brined overnight chicken cooked to order, the Mississippi Delta recipe tamales, and so much more. If you go by Champy's Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster, perfect for your tailgating, which starts Thursday night with the Hall of Fame NFL exhibition game. Enjoy it with great fried chicken with Sterling and the crew at Champy's on Highway 119 in Alabaster.
Call the next round now at 205-734-0923.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, company truck accident, car accident, or work-related accident? Call Alabama's largest personal injury firm. Shunnarah trial attorneys will fight for every dollar you deserve, and it won't cost you a dime. Trust me. What do you say, man?
Call me, Alabama.
Call 659-777-7777 or go to Shunnarah.com.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Just because you've quit going to the gym, it doesn't mean that you have to quit gym altogether. Dunaway, that is. With our Next Round podcasts open 24/7, 365, you can access gym anytime you'd like. While you may have done away with your treadmill routine, our version of Dunaway is standing by ready to get you back to your absolute best. Find all that lovely Jimmy D-led content on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and in the podcast section of nextroundlive.com. This message is sponsored by Jimmy Crypto Inc. and Jimmy Crypto for President.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Hey friends, if you're looking to expand your business and inform the Next Round audience about your exciting brand, contact us at sales@nextroundlive.com to be part of the team and advertise your product to hundreds of thousands of potential consumers on our ever-expanding platform. Let the Next Round help take your business to the next level. Get more information by emailing us at sales@nextroundlive.com, and one of our team members will work with you to build a plan to take your business to the next level with the Next Round.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
New Life Art is proud to announce Daniel A. Moore's upcoming Alabama basketball painting, Buzzer Beater. Closing out the regular season, Alabama and Auburn faced off in a top 10 matchup. With less than 1 second remaining at overtime and the game tied at 91, Mark Sears launched a 15-foot floater that sealed the Tide's victory. Visit DanielMooreArt.com and see the artist's preliminary sketch of this historic Bama win. And take advantage of special pre-production pricing for Buzzer Beater.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemphill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemphill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemphill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, Trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Back with you. Next round, trash in a second. We're going to put Taylor to the test here first, though. Okay. I've got a tape measure.
Yes.
And I'm not going to let you see Malik Neighbors first do this, but I'm going to ask you to close your eyes.
Okay.
Camps are open. You're going to take this tape measure.
Okay.
And I need you to pull 1 yard. You know, it's a game of inches. Football's a game of inches, so you need to pull 1 yard. Eyes closed, and then pull out 1 yard. Close your eyes.
Wait, I think it's locked.
It needs to be locked. So,
okay.
You just need to pull hard there. So,
a yard.
1 full yard. Hold it up so that people can see it. There we go. 1 yard.
Wait, this is so challenging. Wait, a yard.
Yep, eyes closed. No cheating now.
My eyes are closed.
Okay.
Okay, I think that this is my final guess.
Okay. Let me see.
Do I open them?
Yeah, let me see. See what the yardage is here.
I think I'm short.
2 feet 4 inches. So you missed it by just a little bit there. Take a look at Malik Neighbors. Now this is an unbelievable. Now look, that's pretty close. Watch what Malik Neighbors does. Hit it.
Close your eyes and pull 1 yard. No cheating. I see you peeking over there. How many inches is that? 7? 36 inches.
1 yard is 36 inches? Yeah, this is definitely not a yard. Yeah, now I'm way off.
Like, Forster, I love the fact that he had to take it out there and put it down on the field to prove to himself that that wasn't 1 yard.
They had to confirm it, you know?
Yeah.
But and think about
he
looks at that distance every day of his life.
Yeah, for
marked out for him.
How many years? But I guess when you run as fast as he does,
that's how long it feels.
Yeah, like it feels when I run a yard, it feels twice as long for me because I have short legs and everything. For him, he's probably like, 7 inches every time I take a long stride there.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, you're close. You basically missed it by how far he thought a yard was when he was pulling it out. You barely even missed it, but you did really good. I think
you.
You did it smart too because you didn't do one continuous pull. Like
I was trying to visualize it.
Yeah, you did 3, and you're pretty darn close there. Pretty darn close. Fun on social media. I love it. I love it. TikTok. Malik Neighbors there, just missing it by that much. Show's brought to you by our friends at Central State Bank. If you're looking for a bank that truly gets you, with 6 locations in Shelby County and 1 in Alexander City, Central State Bank offers products and services designed to meet a wide range of individual and commercial needs because no two needs are the same, right? That makes sense. With over 100 years of service, Central State Bank is proud to be large enough to serve you, but small enough to know you. Rooted in the community, driven by relationship. Great for mortgages, too. That's Central State Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Great folks there. Known them all the way back to my Little League days. Speaking of baseball, Dodgers, Reds tonight, Cubs and Brewers today, Astros and Cubs. 5 hottest teams since May 15th in Major League Baseball include Toronto, Cincinnati, Milwaukee, and the Chicago Cubs. That's who. I mean, a whole lot of National League Central Division, some of the best teams in baseball since mid-May, as we are now in mid-July, and that includes the Cubs and the Reds. A lot of Cubs fans around the area. Reds fans, not many of them, but they have been on fire this year. Braves.
I was about to say, and one very sad EG.
And one very sad Atlanta Braves fan base, not going so well there. Before we get to trash, basketball. There's a rule last year, can you remember the school that was the actual host of the Final Four? It was in San Antonio. It may have been the American Conference, but any NCAA tournament, there's a host school. For instance, like when it's in Birmingham, sometimes it's the SEC that's the host. Sometimes it's UAB, Alabama, different schools. Well, Houston was set to host the Sweet 16 and the Elite Eight this year at where the Rockets play, which is 3 miles from their campus. But because they were the host, there's a antiquated rule that says they could not play in that region even if they were the number 1 seed because they were the host of the regional.
Really?
So they've been working really hard to find someone else to host just in case they were the number 1 seed in, I think it's the Midwest, so that they could play in Houston for the Sweet 16 and the Elite Eight, and Houston's going to be that good again. Over the weekend, they worked out a deal. Harris County Houston Sports Authority will take over the hosting responsibilities, freeing up Houston with the possibility of playing 3 miles from their campus in the Sweet 16 and the Elite Eight.
Yeah, because that's Auburn played their game 2 maybe of this past season, and I was like, this is not a neutral site game.
Yeah, 3 miles from campus. Auburn won that game.
Yes, they did.
And but it was went down as a neutral site game.
Right.
The reality it was a road
not
game.
Neutral site.
So now Houston and Kelvin Sampson may be able to, if they're able to survive that and get placed in that region, could play 3 miles from campus in the Sweet 16 in the Elite Eight.
I didn't realize that was a rule. That is such a, I don't know if disadvantage is the right word, but that's sad because that's a benefit of being that good is typically, like this past year when Auburn got to play in Atlanta.
So close to campus, yeah.
So close. There are a lot of fans in the vicinity. It makes it a lot easier for, them to have the feel of a home court advantage. But it seems like they got it worked out.
Yeah,
so.
They got it worked out, but it is a weird rule that you can play 3 miles from campus unless you're hosting.
Yeah.
And I guess it would be like getting advantage on what they say over the PA system and, music. I don't know what all would go in.
Doesn't the NCAA do all of that?
Well, the host, I think, is in charge of it, but there's guidelines. I don't see where it'd be a big advantage anyway. No more than playing just 3 miles from campus. By the way, national championship in Indianapolis. Purdue's pretty good. West Lafayette, their campus, about 50 minutes away from where they play the Final Four. You can't avoid that sometimes. All right, trash time. You ready to hit it, Tyler? Do it, man.
I heard the row. I felt that row. I knew to keep it pushing. I knew that. After I see the people run, I just see some big just walking, just right over here, right by the bush. It went right over there. I swear, I promise you, it went right over there. And they said, "Row!" And I just kept walking. I seen me, see it. So in my head, I'm like, nah, I gotta go, man. I'm out.
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Tyler's going to be reading our trash for us all week long. Tyler, what do you have for us today, man?
I've got a story in entertainment to start off with. So we've all heard of Tiger King. Well, HBO tried to get in on that whole exotic animal owner craze a couple years back with their show Chimp Crazy. It's about the people who privately own chimpanzees.
Oh, I missed this to start with.
And this lady, Tanya Haddix, she calls herself the Dolly Parton of chimpanzees.
What? How?
She owns several of them.
Okay.
So, I don't know why we drag Dolly into
this.
That's
what I'm wondering. Where's the correlation? Well, I guess I don't know.
I don't know. That's what she likes to be called, though.
Fair.
She just got arrested for having a secret chimpanzee in her basement. She was in a lawsuit with PETA over how these exotic animals should be treated, and she had a chimp named Tonka hidden in her basement. And Tonka isn't just a regular chimp; he is a movie star. He was he's been in Georgia, the Jungle, and Buddy. So
how did she acquire him?
That's a good question.
That seems like where you might get into some legal issues. Is the movie star?
Yeah, John Leguizamo, he acted with Tonka in the movie Buddy. He's been trying to free Tonka the chimp for a few years now, and this is Tonka after he got rescued out of the basement.
So he's free now.
Yeah, he's happy. He's eating some, looks to be a bell pepper or a tomato over there.
Yeah.
But he's a happy little guy now, and the chimp's been removed from the house, and...
Well, technically, I mean, somebody owns the chimp when he's in the movies. So if she was treating him well, I don't know. I don't like these exotic animals being in captivity, but I guess we got to have them for movies and circuses and zoos and stuff, right?
Yeah. And they're
sad though. It's sad to me to watch. When I go to the zoo, it was fun with the kids because the kids loved them, but I would sit and watch and I'd be like sort of sad. That monkey would much rather be swinging on real trees, not one that are fake trees.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're smart enough to know they're in captivity and can't do X, Y, or Z because of the bars right in front of them.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I wonder if they communicate like, "What are you in for?" I really don't know. I never got a fair trial. I'm just locked up, man.
I was born here.
Yeah, just locked up here.
Well, PETA is fining Haddix nearly $250 million, or no, excuse me, $250,000, $250,000.
Still,
big difference, but still a lot of money. And her attorney and manager have not responded to any comments.
Yeah,
that's tough.
Yeah,
that's really tough.
$250,000.
So next up, we head to Miami. This Miami man, he laughed and fled a traffic stop and did not get very far.
Okay, real quickly, very much a Duck Dynasty guy, right?
He's got a little bit of a Duck Dynasty look to him.
Yeah. But the eyes too. That's a Robertson guy. Yeah, but it's not him. Obviously, it's somebody different.
It is not him. This guy's name is Eduardo Barbero Gonzalez.
Oh, wow.
That's a name.
According to an arrest report, this happened around 11 p.m. last Wednesday. Police said a uniformed officer working a crime suppression detail in an area known for high narcotic sales and usage saw Gonzalez parked in a small shopping center and engaged in what appeared to be a hand-to-hand deal. And so authorities said Gonzalez saw the marked car and threw his Dodge into reverse in an attempt to leave the lot. Quote, "I moved my vehicle in front of Gonzalez's vehicle and lowered my window to talk to him," the officer wrote. It states that Gonzalez lowered his window and asked the cop, "Are you trying to come in?" The officer said, "No, I need to speak with you. You aren't free to leave." Police said Gonzalez then laughed out loud and yelled, "Ha-ha, psych!" before hitting the gas and speeding off.
That was big when I was in college. Psych.
He then ran a stop sign and crashed into a parked 18-wheeler and jumped out of the car, but he couldn't get very far because his leg was hurt, and police took him into custody. He's been booked into jail on multiple fleeing and eluding and resisting arrest charges, along with a series of probation warrants for other charges like aggravated battery and grand theft. So this guy, he was trying to get away because he was not getting out if he just rolled down the window.
Yeah, he chose to leave because he knew what was coming.
Right.
Didn't get very far, though.
Yeah, he looked surprised they're taking a picture of him. And
like, why are you taking a picture of me? I just hurt my leg.
There was no 1, 2, 3 cheese.
Yeah, there wasn't.
So, 50 pounds of dynamite were found in this abandoned school bus in Anchorage, Alaska.
Wait, I thought it was drugs. Dynamite?
Yeah, 50 pounds of dynamite were found in this abandoned school bus.
How dangerous is that?
Yeah, I wonder, like, what kind of damage can 50 pounds of dynamite do?
Oh,
a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Mountain.
So state troopers and FBI shut down the highway to investigate this and said the dynamite was at least 20 years old, and its location near the highway made it unsafe to try and do a remote detonation there to get rid of it. So they assessed that the antiquated dynamite was not in a location they wanted to do a controlled demolition, so they worked diligently as a team to remove the dynamite to a more appropriate location and dispose of it in a safe and proper manner, which was a controlled burn.
No, but they had to move it first. I would have shut down the interstate, and then let it explode there. I'm not going to risk life to move it around, but they did it okay. Nobody hurt or anything.
Yep, they said the dynamite was doused with chemicals to keep it from exploding while it was burned, and they also had a bomb disposal robot, on scene.
Okay.
Wait, did you say that was sitting there for 20 years?
Yeah, it was abandoned for 20 years.
How did the fact that no one went in that school bus and started messing around with it for 20 years? People drove by.
Yeah, kids. I mean, look how it's an open way. I mean, you can be on a 4-wheeler down through there.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go in the bus. See what's on the school bus, man.
Just going on a hike after school with some friends, just walking.
Yeah, I feel like I know at least 7 people who would have gone into that school bus, and
you work with 4 of them.
Agents didn't provide any information on how the explosives actually got onto the bus or their intended use, but said that this isn't terribly uncommon for there to just be random stashes of dynamite or grenades just hidden away somewhere, and made sure to let everybody know to always call the authorities to properly dispose of it.
Yeah, but if you're a kid, you don't know to do that.
Yeah, or I wouldn't be able to identify that as dynamite. I wouldn't look at that and be like, oh, dynamite, I should call.
I'm trying to see how big a dynamite explosion would be for 50 pounds. You said 50 pounds?
Yes.
Thank you, AI. Size of a briefcase bomb.
Seems pretty big.
Could cause significant damage. It could blow up like size of a football field.
Oh,
yeah. Wow.
Yep.
That's even more than that.
Per AI.
Oh, that's concerning.
Yep. That's how they, get rid of mountains. You blow it up with dynamite. What else you got?
To finish off today.
Looks like Cheetos.
That's what I thought it was flaming hot
does
Cheetos
look like
at
Cheetos.
first.
Yeah.
Tamales from Champy's. After they've been sitting there for 20 years.
I'd still eat them. To finish off today, we've got a great Florida man story.
This is unbelievable.
Customers watched in disbelief as Florida police arrested a Chuck E. Cheese employee in costume portraying the legendary Charles Entertainment Cheese and accused him of using a stolen credit card.
Unbelievable.
Jermel Jones, age 41, was working on Wednesday night when Tallahassee police confronted him at the Chuck E. Cheese on Shunnarah Road. And the Tallahassee police says, I grabbed his arm while giving the verbal instruction. Chucky, come with me, Chucky. Jones immediately started tensing up, locking both of his arms forward in front of his chest and attempted to pull away from my grip on his right arm. I gave the verbal commands, stop resisting, you are being detained. Crews told the mascot not to make a scene before the officer and his partner, quote, exerted minor physical effort to handcuff him, as you can see here on the left.
With hands still on?
Yeah, you still got the big hands on.
And the shoes.
Hey, at least that's a little less embarrassing than getting arrested in public. Yeah. At least you have a disguise.
One of the victims told police she'd been to her child's birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese on June 28th and soon spotted fraudulent charges at stores she does not frequent. Oh. She went to one of these stores and got security footage matching the time her card was wrongly used and recognized the Chuck E. Cheese employee making a purchase at the same time as one of the fraudulent swipes. The police went to the Chuck E. Cheese location and identified Jones, not in costume, as the employee was suspected of stealing her card. The officer briefly talked with Jones, who was described as very nervous. The police left the restaurant to confer with the victim and another officer, and when the officers went back inside, Jones was gone, but a Chuck E. Cheese mascot was now in the restaurant.
That next step would be arresting a Disney character.
Yeah,
hauling that out.
How traumatic.
Sad day if you're walking out with Snow White in cuffs or something like that. That is Trash Today. It's brought to you by our friends at Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. And the show also being brought to you in part by our friends at Michelson. Dr. Martin Michelson, Dr. Jennifer Michelson, leaders in the field of LASIK surgery for decades now. You can go and check them out at michelsonlaservision.com, michelsonlaservision.com. Just go for a consultation. You can learn so much of what they can offer for you, a variety of different ways that includes bladeless surgery. You got the LASIK laser eye surgery right there. The best to do, just get that consultation right there to handle farsighted, nearsighted, and several other issues for you. MichelsonLaserVision.com. MichelsonLaserVision.com. Tyler Siskey will be on the show tomorrow. We'll talk to Coach Siskey of McCready and Siskey about college football. He's got some big thoughts on everything that's going on. I don't have a start time for the Deion Sanders news conference out in Boulder. You got information?
I believe it will begin at 12 o'clock Central Time. There was about 25 minutes ago, I just had it pulled up for this exact moment and then lost it, but I believe it was I don't remember who it was. An ESPN reporter said in about 30 minutes from now, Deion Sanders and his medical staff will sit down to speak, which is roughly 12 o'clock. So I'm assuming that is when it will start in about 5 minutes.
If you're wondering what's going on, he's had the medical issue that kept him in Texas. Many of you are speculating that maybe the altitude made his blood clots be a bigger issue, life-threatening. He's had treatment. We don't know the details of what will be discussed in this news conference coming up, but his medical team will be there. But his son did post on social media last night of a montage of shots during the recovery and the hard work that Coach Sanders has put in on trying to get back to the field and with his Colorado Buffaloes. But, of course, their camp opening up this week as well. So he'll have a news conference with his medical team, and we'll know more coming up just after the top of the hour. And we'll talk about some of that, not only on our social media platforms, but also back here on the show tomorrow at 9 a.m. Central Time. We are getting ready for college football. Tyler, if you'll give me cut number 7, I want you to listen from back at Big Ten Media Days, Lincoln Riley. There are games that we are losing as we get to these bigger conferences. You just can't play all the games when you're in bigger conferences, the games that we're used to. Auburn fans often go back to wanting to play Florida on an annual basis. It just doesn't happen anymore. In fact, the big concern is if we don't go to 9 games in the SEC pretty soon, are you going to lose Auburn, Georgia? And the folks at the SEC tell me they've got a contingency plan if they stay at 8 to allow you to maintain 2 rivalry games every year if you choose to do that. So I don't think Auburn, Georgia is in any jeopardy. But we didn't have Texas A&M for a long time. We don't have Oklahoma State right now. And Lincoln Riley was asked at Big Ten Media Days. He was talking about the future of USC and Notre Dame. Here is the head coach of Fight On, the Southern Cal Trojans.
I decided the night at my house, right, to take the USC job. My first thought was I get to coach in USC Notre Dame. So first thought, because before coach, player, any of that, as a fan. And so the rivalry, all these rivalries mean a great deal to me. They mean a great deal to anybody that cares about college football. Yes, I mean, that's, do I want to play the game? Hell yeah, I want to play the game. Absolutely. It's one of the reasons I came here. So I'm very hopeful we can get to a point where it makes sense. It's one of those situations right now where the 2 schools are in radically different situations. I think we can all agree with that, with the one having a conference affiliation and one not. And I think I think there's a million reasons why that we should very seriously as a college football community that we should adopt the automatic qualifying in terms of the college football playoff. And this might be the most important one, right, is that we give every reason for college football to preserve non-conference games that mean a lot to the history of the game and to the fan bases and the former players and everybody that's been associated with it. So I'm very hopeful that we can get there, and I'm very hopeful that we play this game forever.
So the Big Ten wants those automatic qualifiers, meaning that if they lost the Notre Dame game, it wouldn't impact USC's playoff chances. Problem with that is it also lessens the importance of the game itself. And that's what the SEC is trying to preserve with their 5 11 model is the importance of the out-of-conference games in all the games.
Right, and that's something that was talked about a lot when we were in Atlanta was, I guess, kind of the pros and cons and balancing, is this beneficial? Is strength of schedule going to be taken into consideration as much as we want it to be taken into consideration? Because I think that's a lot of the hesitation, is if we add another conference game, will we be rewarded for that?
That's right, and still playing a Power 4 team or two, as Alabama does this year. By the way, there's only one team in college football that plays on their schedule 4 teams that made the playoffs last year. There's only one team. And they also were one of the 11 teams that were number 1 in the college football playoff era. So one of those 11 teams play 4 playoff teams from last year. Do you know who it is?
Not off the top of my head.
Mississippi State.
Are you kidding?
Nope. They play 4 different playoff teams this year, including out-of-conference Arizona State.
Yeah, and they got a tough road ahead.
Yeah, a lot of teams play 3, but Mississippi State's the only team in college football that play 4 playoff teams from last year. Hail State. Go get them, guys. All right, that's our show today. Thank you for being with us. Thanks for helping us through this day, and we'll do it again tomorrow. EG will join us from Tuscaloosa tomorrow as Bama camp gets ready to open, and then she'll be in Auburn as camp opens on Wednesday for the Fighting Tigers of Hugh Freeze and the Auburn Tigers. Until next time, God bless you. God bless America.